everyone, and welcome to another Tinfoil Tuesday. How's everyone doing? I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. Welcome back. The world of the strange, the world of the wrong, the world of conspiracy theory. We are, in fact, back at it for another 3 hours of abject insanity for our entertainment and educational purposes. If I say that, does that make me feel better about my job? How's everyone doing? Unconditional Prong says 4K discs of Uncle Buck, Cruising, and Panic Room came in along with Sleeping Dogs with Sam freaking Neil. That's pretty cool. I heard about Panic Room. I hope that goes on sale at some point, because that skipped Blu-ray altogether. Hasn't been released since the DVD. Panic Room's pretty good. Hi, everyone. Again, how's it going? If you're on YouTube, do me a favor. Like the stream. I'd appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up. Social Security had resigned because Doge. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I don't want to talk about it. If I'm being honest, I don't want to talk about it. So what else? In good news, Baha got, she cleared me to say this. Baha got a full-time job at a lab, that is a union job. So hell yeah, that's cool. We have medical insurance and dental insurance, and that's pretty dope. So congrats, Baha. Thank you very much for the year or so of working various random jobs and doing like shipped and stuff, because holy fuck, what a rough year. Lennon Cat, thanks for 27 months, says, woo, go union jobs. Congrats, Dr. Baha. Indeed, congrats. That said, if you want to help out, you know, before that pay kicks in, if you want to help out, you can always use the tip link, because I am slightly in the negative, and she doesn't get paid from that job for another couple weeks. The economy's great. Green Guy with the $1 tip says, you got the shelf up. I did. It looks great, doesn't it? I'm still working on organizing stuff, but it's there. And Just a Peach says, yay for Baha. Indeed. Hey, Nemesaur, how's it going? Oh, we're close to the tip goal, too, which is the karaoke stream. So if you, do tipping and stuff, we're almost there. We're so close. Yeah, with that, I'll let it out of the way. We are playing bingo today, so if you want to play, get your bingo card ready, 1 per person. First winner gets a gift sub. And that's about it. Let's jump into it, shall we? We're going to start with Sky Prince, who we've looked at multiple times before. She's a medbed scammer. She basically tells vulnerable and sick people, old people, people in pain, that, hey, I have this magical secret, and it's medbeds. If you don't know, medbeds are kind of a part of the QAnon mythology, but they didn't originate necessarily from QAnon. It helped popularize it, though. It's this idea that aliens, or the government, or someone secretly has this technology that looks like a tanning bed, but you get in it, and it cures all your ailments. It can make you young if you're old. It can cure your pain if you're in chronic pain. If you have anything, they think it can cure you, including curing the gay, because as it turns out, a lot of QAnon people are homophobic. Just a Peach says, puppet visit for karaoke? Oh yeah. Not only, there will be a puppet duet with the karaoke, and for every $50 above this goal we get, I will add another puppet song! Anyway, so let's get into it. With Sky Prince.
Hey guys.
Oh, let me turn the music off real quick. You can go ahead and mark off believes sci-fi technology exists on the bingo card, because that's what medbeds are, basically. Gillis Filler says, I'm reading some of the Project 2025 shit, and I have to keep reminding myself that its authors are not stupid. They simply don't care about anyone else. They know the harm it'll cause. Society is a sacrifice they're willing to make in service of their own interests. I know it's scary and sucks, guys. I don't want to talk about it, if I'm being honest. There's a reason I don't do Chud Watch anymore. Ah.
How are you? So I've got a very
Sky Prince. S-K-Y, Sky Prince.
Special guest with me at the moment, and he has some very important information regarding medbed healing and medbed age regression. This is super, super important, and please don't jump to conclusions and think, oh, that won't happen to me, because it just might.
Don't jump to conclusions and think you won't magically get your age reduced via sci-fi medbed. What a statement. Don't jump to conclusions that the outlandish statement I'm making isn't true. Wow. I don't know if that's jumping to conclusions.
Okay, so please take what he says seriously and really apply what you can now to assist in your recovery later. Okay.
She channeling Smoo? She channeling Smoo?
Hello everybody.
Oh! Fuck, it's Smoo! Believes they speak with aliens regularly on the bingo card. If you've not seen me cover Sky Prince before, how do I explain this? Alright, so her mythology for the medbeds is that they're from aliens, and these aliens are like a government. They have like a governmental system, and like the medbed for Earth's project is, you know, it's some line item budget, whatever. It's not that important to the Galactic Federation, I guess, because they put a 10-year-old alien in charge of it. Don't worry, though. Apparently this alien species matures faster than humans, but also they still kind of talk like a child and don't correctly use words all the time. So she's channeling a 10-year-old alien projects manager who is in charge of the basically the distribution of medbed technology to humans to get an update on how that's going. That's a lot. I hope that covered it. Any questions? Any questions before we move forward? I feel like I said a lot. I feel like I said a lot there. And if anyone needs any clarification on anything, who's in charge, Alien Musk? I don't think they've said who the leader is. I don't think we're clear on who, like, the galactic president is. I'm gonna go with Zaphod Beeblebrox. That's the last galactic president I'm familiar with. Do the aliens have union jobs? Unclear. Anyway, okay. I think we're caught up. Cool.
Smoo, you have heard me before, not very often because I'm still very new to this. So what I want to talk about today is the healing with the medbeds and the age regression. Now this is really, really important, okay? I just had a really long discussion with Kerry's mum about this, and I think it's important enough to share with everybody so that
Carrie's mom is this woman's mom. She goes by Sky Prince online, but her, like, birth name is Carrie. I don't say that unless she says it. She said it here, or I guess Smoo said it. So this is her talking as Smoo, saying that Smoo talked to Sky Prince's mom. As Smoo? Does your mom know you do this?
you also
imagine you have a kid and they think they're channeling an alien named Shmoo, and they're a project manager that's bad at their job.
Can take on board the necessary steps for healing using the medbeds. Okay, ready? Okay. So the first thing is, you know all about the medbeds because Kerry has explained it for 4 years, okay? So you don't know, there's nothing about it you don't know, okay? So we'll heal and cure everything physical, okay? Now, with age regression, and this applies to general healing as well, okay? So let's talk about general healing first, okay? So at the moment, your bodies are full of heavy metals, poisons and toxins.
I'm gonna need a big citation on that one. Certainly certain generations of people, like boomers and Gen X, and to an extent, millennials probably lingering. Lead is a problem. Like, generally, Everyone for everything? What about the microplastics? I've come attached to them. Quite literally. They're kind of all up in my brain.
Okay, and the medbed will remove all of that.
Is she shilling her medbed product? Yes. Shilling, scamming on the bingo card for sure.
Literally remove all of that. It will clean your DNA. It will clean your body.
It'll clean your DNA. That's beautiful. I want the medbeds all up in my cellular nuclei.
And restore your body to health, to perfection in every single way. Your physical body will be healthy. So you won't feel tired. You won't feel frustrated because you have an injury or an illness. You won't have the hormonal excess weight. You won't have the hot flashes.
Ma'am, my excess weight isn't due to hormones. It's due to cheese, chocolate milk, pizza, which is kind of inclusive of cheese. That's the list. It's all inclusive. Hannah mentions cheese accidentally.
Okay, for the women. For the men, you won't have like the erectile dysfunction. Okay, so the men.
You heard it here first. This 10-year-old alien boy from Mars is telling you that you're gonna get the hardest erections of your goddamn life. That's pretty cool. Overthought with 100 bits says, don't worry, Hannah, the medbeds will take care of the microplastics. They'll wash your brain in a way.
You will be working 100%, okay? You won't need Viagra, okay? You'll be 100%, okay?
You see what I mean? Smooth sometimes forgets words, like, okay, you be 100%, instead of saying you will be 100%. Why say much word when few word do trick? Like, why? Why is he 10, but he's also an adult, but also he talks like a 3-year-old sometimes, but the 10-year-olds are more advanced. But he forgets words. I'm just saying, if you're going to scam people using a character, would you not want that character to make sense?
For the
Maybe I'd make a bad scam artist.
women, everything will be perfect, okay? Your reproductive systems will be perfect. Your menstrual cycle, you can choose to continue if you want to have baby, or you can choose to put that on hold until you want to have baby, if you want to have baby, okay? So you can...
Like, forgetting the word, if you want to have baby? You want baby? Want baby? You want baby? Why does he talk like this?
choose so much, okay? So
Do these people believe that a medbed can do gender-affirming surgery? That's not how most of them would think of it. A lot of them are very homophobic. So, for instance, they believe that medbeds will, quote, cure homosexuality. So they would view, as far as they're concerned, if I got in a medbed, it wouldn't fix me to be like a cis woman. It would turn me into a cis man by changing my brain from trans to cis, basically. Because again, they view being trans as a mental illness. Like, I hate to be a downer, but that's the perspective they're coming from. So,
right now, many of you, I'm not talking about everybody, of course I can't, but many of you are overweight, feeling sluggish, feeling like I don't have enough energy, I'm always tired. Yeah.
I'm always tired. I always tired too, Smoo.
That's the poisons they've been putting into you for years. Okay.
Excuse you, I don't need help putting poison in my body. Aspartame is delicious.
It's not your body. It's the poison. You've been poisoned to feel that way. Okay, to keep your vibration low, to keep you under control. Okay, and to keep the pharmaceutical companies in business. Okay, so the medbed will remove all of that.
Nemesaur says, maybe it's like the intentional misspellings in the 419 scams. It's meant to weed out skeptics early. I don't know if she is strategic enough to do that, based on what I have seen of her, and maybe that's because I never see the real her. Maybe it's because it's always persona on camera. I don't know. But, she doesn't strike me as the kind to be that strategic.
come out, even just a general healing, you will wake up.
Vibrations count as vibes-based? I would say so. It's gotten to the point where the two are basically synonymous. They use vibrations to describe, like, basically they're trying to reify their feelings into some physical object or physical sensation that can be measured outside of themselves. So, I'd say yes.
From the bed. In
Is conspiracy theorist telling on self? Not yet, no.
perfect health. So if you're 50 years old, you're probably around 30 years old, physically, 25, 30, healthy 25, 30-year-old, okay? So you don't really need age regression because your body will pretty much half to three-quarters in a general healing anyway, okay? So really important to understand that age regression is not necessary for anybody under any reason, okay? And it's going to be really hard to get, okay? So just be aware of that.
What if I just want to see what my ass would have looked like in my early 20s if I had been on hormones back then? Then can I use the age reverso machine? Because I'm very curious. Hydrate will do.
Okay, so you come out, you wake up from the bed and you stand up and your body is tingling. You're feeling high vibration. You've never felt this before. It feels very strange. You feel like something is wrong. Something must have gone wrong. No, your body should be like this. Your body should be, you should be able to feel the life force, the energy of your body. That's how we diagnose ourselves, is by feeling our body. Okay? You should be able to feel the vibration and the slight changes within the vibrational frequencies of your body. That's normal. Okay? But you've never felt that before because
these delusional thoughts you've been having are fine. They're normal, in fact. Please keep indulging in this nonsense.
Being poisoned to not feel that, okay? So you wake up from the bed, you sit up on the side and go, oh, I feel a little lightheaded. My body's vibrating. Oh my God, am I dead? No, you're not dead. You're not dead at all. You're feeling normal. This is your new normal, okay? And then you stand up and your legs feel a bit weak because of the vibration, because you're not used to it. Your brain trying to work it out. Something must be wrong. No, nothing is wrong, okay? And then your legs feeling a little bit weak, so you might need to stand there for a minute or two, or you might need a wheelchair. You might need some assistance to walk into the recovery room, okay? And then when you get to recovery room, you're like, oh.
You get like the, where's the in that sentence? I know there's other things to talk about and it shouldn't be that, and I'm getting yelly and I apologize. But it's these things that stick out to me as the stories they tell and why they don't make goddamn sense. Why would he forget the word the in this sentence? He doesn't always forget the word the. The recovery room? Recovery room. Whatever.
I feel very strange. I feel a bit lightheaded. I feel a bit dizzy. And the staff come and go, okay, have a drink of water. Have a drink. Take your time. It's all good. They will give you a mirror as well so you can see the changes on your face and everything. And all of a sudden, boom, it hits. This is not me. I'm not saying this is going to happen to everyone, but it happens a lot to a lot of people. They look in the mirror and go, no, this is not me. Who is this person?
Green guy says, I care less.
This is not what I want.
You even left another word out, goddammit!
Even though on the quantum computer at your scan appointment, you have organized for
ooh, quantum computer. We did it. We said quantum.
That to happen.
I need to put quantum on the bingo card.
But when it actually happens and you see the reflection of yourself in the mirror, no. And why does this happen? Because your brain is now confused. Because your brain for so many years...
Sounds like a mental illness sign, the dropping the thing? No, she's faking. She's a scammer. She's channeling an alien named Smoo, who's 10 years old and the worst project manager in history.
Has been seeing your reflection and feeling your body as one thing. And then all of a sudden, everything the brain and the body has known is gone. It's all gone. and now all we have is your new self. This medbed procedure, just a general healing, messes with the mind. 100% messes with the mind. This is why we could not introduce the medbeds earlier, because the consciousness of humanity was not yet capable of handling such procedures.
Oh, all the people who died of cancer will understand, I bet. They weren't prepared mentally to be cured of their terminal diseases.
Okay? There's still many people not capable of handling the procedure. However, we have reached the tipping point and gone past the tipping point of the collective consciousness, frequency, in ability to handle these procedures. Okay? So really important. Okay? Now, what you need to do to fight this, to stop this or reduce the chance of this happening to you, is you need to eat healthy now. You need to think positive now. You need...
I find it so odd that Sky, like, I don't know. Never mind.
To raise your frequency,
Not
you
worth
need
it.
to
Not
go
worth it.
outside and get comfortable with nature. You need to do young person things. You need to see yourself as young and beautiful. Okay, the reason for this is because doing all of that now, before you get in the bed, will greatly assist you and reduce the chances of your brain going into a massive shock confusional state.
If you completely changed what your body looks like, it's gonna fuck you up. Like, I say this as someone who grew up with a body image that's very different than what my body actually was, you know? I don't think you mentally can prepare yourself for that, but whatever.
I don't even know if that's a word, but I make it up anyway. I use it. Okay. So...
do Euro coins actually have a version that has the Vitruvian Man on the back? Because this chocolate Euro has a Vitruvian Man, and that's sweet. Every coin should have the Vitruvian Man. I like that.
To stop your brain going into shock and a confusional state, you need to prepare your mind for the
Depraved Ambiance says, I think it's because she consciously is trying to sound more foreign to monolingual English speakers, and thus alien, so she's intentionally using broken English with certain types of learner errors. Think a Russian speaker having trouble with articles a and the, because Russian doesn't use articles in the same way. But because she's doing it intentionally, she forgets to make the errors sometimes and defaults to correct grammatical English. That's basically what I was thinking too. She's bad at it. I think part of the I think making it a 10-year-old was a problem too. I think that's a hat on a hat. It's already an alien. Don't make it an alien child. You're adding too many character features to this character.
Treatment now. Okay? Very important. Okay.
Heroes have national variants. Okay.
When you stand up in recovery and you walk to the shop to pick out your clothes, guess what's there? A mirror. A full-size mirror. You're gonna see yourself in full view.
He's like really obsessing about, like, guys, you're not gonna believe it, they have mirrors at the medbed center. Like, the mirrors are not the interesting thing.
For the first time. That again.
This chocolate coin is supposed to be an American quarter, but it's gold. That's incorrect, chocolate coin makers. That's incorrect.
And will be like, some people will be, oh my god, I'm so excited.
And then there's another one, and it's done in bronze, like it's a penny, but it's a quarter. Why are they doing this? What are they doing? And they're all Pennsylvania state quarters. What the fuck?
Some people will be, no, that's not me. Who is that? Because they haven't done the work mentally. Okay? Now, if you may be thinking this won't happen to me. Bullshit. It happens to a lot of people. Some 5D people have gone...
Gelt is nom nom. Yeah, I don't have a dreidel, so I just have to eat it.
into complete and total, their brain has gone into complete and total shock and confusion that they actually request going back into the bed to reverse the healing and then to live out their life the way that they had, because that's what they were comfortable with.
I missed the dimensions beyond our own. Hold on.
Going back into complete and total
5D
shock
people, yeah. Dimensions beyond our own for 5D people.
And confusion that they actually request going back into the bed to reverse the healing.
Isaac says, this shit is so crazy. I am so numb to conspiratorial thought that this shit doesn't even faze me anymore. If anything, this is, like, boring to me.
To live out their life.
I need something more. I'm jonesing for something really crazy.
That they had, because that's what they were comfortable with. That's what their brain and body knew. Okay? Some people, very few, get to this point, but some people have actually tried to take their own life because their brain has really gone into shock and they cannot handle it. Okay? It is so important that you take my words seriously, okay? Because when you come out of that bed, you go into the bed.
All right. We'll call it on her for now. She's scamming. We get it. What else do we have? I watched this "Do White People Have a Soul" video that I talked about yesterday. It wasn't that interesting, but in case you're curious what he thinks the answer is no. He contends that white people do not have a soul because their DNA is mixed with animals. His opinion, not mine. I think no one has a soul, but you know. Hey Ash, how's it going? The semen retention people always make me laugh.
As you begin to harness sexual...
Have you ever watched the interviews with the modern members of the Heaven's Gate cult? I have not.
...energy. As you begin to set and achieve goals. As your finances begin to grow. As your physique reaches new heights. As your skin clears and your aura cleanses itself. As you grow in confidence. You become a magnet for women. Women can sense this new energy around you.
Not how women work on the bingo card. No. 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 They are not sensing that you have a bunch of cum in you. I promise. I promise that's not happening.
Those women that didn't give you the time of day begin to circulate around you, purposely putting themselves in places and situations so that you notice them. And it all...
I like that he's like a creepy stalker in this stock footage. Also, when did the intersection of I words and conspiracy theories turn into a circle? I know the punchline is just, they were always that, but kind of lame. I hate that so much of society is based entirely on people's conspiracy theories.
All has at the root of it harnessing your sexual energy through semen retention. The energy and stamina one acquires from semen retention, when focused towards their goal.
I don't think that semen retention is going to give you stamina. I think it's going to do the opposite of that. If you refuse to do that sometime, if you do actually get an opportunity to, you know, with someone, I don't think you're not going to have that stamina, methinks.
Goals helps us achieve them. As you begin to work on yourself to set and achieve goals, fitness, financial, spiritual, women will take notice and you will garnish a greater amount of sexual interest. With the increase of female attention comes greater risk of making bad decisions. When your circle of interested women grows, will you have the self-control required to say no to those relationships and sexual encounters that should be avoided?
Save your cum and don't ever use it. MSKTB89 with 44 months says, my city is so icy I called into work today. Lucky me, it's tinfoil day. Good day for it.
Relationships that could be your downfall. Relationships giving birth to children in a broken family. Relationships where we are not valued as men for who we are and what we provide, and content to be treat it so as long as we get our sexual fix. All of the new attention from women can easily get to your head and end you in bed with them. That's the end goal, right?
This whole thing is basically saying you have to protect your virginity from these sluts. You have to protect your semen. They're all after your semen.
If that is a goal you set for yourself, then sure. The issue is that self-control is developed, and for men, the kryptonite that throws this control out of the window is women. Women giving you that look from across the room. That woman rubbing her hand across your arm in ever so subtle of a way. A woman laughing at all your awful jokes. At this point, a lot of blood has started to descend, and you are thinking with your other head. The one that always gets you in trouble. And so
laughing at your jokes made you horny?
we must learn to put principle over passion, because sex has been the cause of many downfalls of great men. Without proper instruction and guidance, the attraction warranted by semen retention can become your downfall. It is your responsibility to filter through the crowd of women using discernment, time, and intuition to find your good woman, not simply one that is good looking. Patience is key, but how do you hold on to that key with that constant downstairs itch?
Is this just purity culture going out of control? It's different. Purity culture often comes from some sort of religious belief, or at least a professed religious belief. This is sinister in a different way. This is using pseudoscience. This guy is basically trying to say it's an actual physical, chemical thing that if you don't come, you're going to be more attractive and have all these benefits, which is not evidenced, by the way. It's actually unhealthy to never come. It increases your risk of, like, prostate cancer. If you have a prostate, that is. So yeah, I don't know. I don't view it as purity culture in that way. It feels like MGTOW or incel type belief, trying to be like, oh, women don't want me? Fine, then you don't get something I think you think is valuable, my cum. But also, it ties in with, like, pseudo-spirituality stuff, but it's mostly trying to use, like, pseudo-science bro bullshit. It's like gym science, you know what I mean? The same kind of people that want the bone broth, you know what I mean? Same deal.
By mastering your sexual energy and realizing what it was first designed for.
Doesn't everyone have a prostate? No. No, Elk Owl. No.
Circulating the body to bring life and healing. We have been so conditioned into arousal by modern society. We are now
prostate is like the mixing bowl in which semen and sperm and the semen mix together before ejaculation. Ifazoa says, "What a thing to walk in on." You're welcome.
Now aroused more by body parts than intellect and good characteristic traits. In Africa, where the women walk around abreast, it is commonplace and no attraction is felt as a man from the village sees what he has always seen. We have been conditioned to place more desire on body parts rather than the personality, demeanor, and intellect behind the woman, her soul.
Okay, that's not, like, a bad thing to say, is to not focus on the physical so much and care about a person. There we go. We got something that isn't terrible.
Slaves for looks, when virtue was the holding place of attractiveness back in the day. A good woman of moral character was and still is attractive. And so it is best to first get your life in order and create a wonderful home.
Literally saying judge a book by its cover? Oh boy.
And garden, and be very selective of the woman we allow into our lives. When you set a standard right off the start, when you show up as the best version of yourself, it is a standard that she will have to meet if she is to be taken in by you. Rather than attracting from a stance of desire, you are attracting from the stance of the desired. The women that are worthy of your time and willing to submit themselves to you in your role as leader will filter themselves from those who are vain. Having sexual control, financial liberty, freedom, clearness
What in the world does financial success have to do with abstaining from ejaculation? None.
of mind.
You can be a broke bitch and not ever come. Like, that's a sad life, but you can be a broke bitch and never come. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Or getting involved with a woman is ideal because a woman can wreak havoc on all of your life.
What a guy. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let's try this one. This one is called There Is No South Pole. Accidentally based? Sure, we'll count that.
And you don't understand what you are saying. We live in an electromagnetic toroidal field. There is no
Toroidal?
South Pole. Your compass objectively, empirically, and scientifically concludes that the Earth is a level plane with a fixed center source.
Flat Earth on the bingo card. Definitely. Any conspiracies on the upside down plane crash? I didn't see any today, but I'm sure they're coming.
Your compass, when you flip a switch for a current, your compass points to the current. It doesn't have to be a bar magnet. Claiming that it's a bar magnet is a false equivalency logical fallacy.
I mean, magnets are generally when there's not other interference aligned with the magnetic poles of Earth. But yeah, if you had an electromagnet near it, it would overtake it. Yeah? Let's see. My first channel, thanks for 13 months, says hello all. How's it going?
Have a natural lodestone, a compass functioning properly, because east and west are semicircles and circles. That's why your compass pivots. It is objective. When there's a fixed source in the center, your compass functions properly. Your compass will function properly with a fixed source in the center.
But that's not what we observe, right? That's not what we observe in the real world outside of your, like, map thing you've made here?
If you add this static, all right, this is our South Pole. Let's have a constant South Pole now. Look, it's not working.
That's not how the North and South Pole work. A, they're not that close to each other. This isn't in scale. Second of all, neither of these things are on a sphere on opposite ends. What? Paradona, thanks for 100 bits and kicking off a hype train. Much appreciated. Like I said, I'm in the negative right now, unfortunately, because of some bills that came up. If you want to help the stream, use the tip link. Get us closer to tip goal for the karaoke thing. And yeah, that's it. Cool beans.
It's not working because we have two fields acting on it at the same time. Get rid of our South Pole that doesn't exist and has no evidence. Weird.
People have been to this. People are at the South Pole right now, probably. I guess I don't know what time it is there. I don't know what the local time zone is for that place. But, like, there have probably been people there today. Like, it's still summer in the South Pole, so there's people doing research and stuff. There are certainly people in Antarctica, even if they're not directly at the North Pole, but the North Pole does exist.
Now our compass functions properly. Let's add the constant force of a South Pole that doesn't exist. Compass
and that's not the
does
South
not
Pole.
work.
That's a magnet you
Take
stuck
away
right
the
next
South
to
Pole
it.
that doesn't exist. Compass works fine. Add the South Pole. Compass doesn't work. Take the South Pole away. Compass works fine. Compass is a single pole, horizontal plane instrument for measuring semicircles and circles. It is the latitude on your
Time
map.
zones basically have no meaning at the poles. I assume they arbitrarily have, maybe not arbitrarily. I imagine that they align themselves with something, though. So to them, it is some time. I just don't know which they pick.
Okay?
Might just be whatever the time zone is for the headquarters for their lab back at their home country. I don't know.
It doesn't work when
Yeah, they have Southern Hemisphere compasses. When they did the final experiment recently, they had to get a Southern Hemisphere compass for it. Green guy with a $3 tip says, dude, just jerk it and stop making videos. Boom, saved you hours of your time.
two
That was about the semen retention video.
polarity are acting on it at the same time. The needle is static, okay? Look, I'm going 5 or 6 inches here. Both polarity acting on my needle at the same.
Sir, that's not a sphere, and it's literally on the same thing. Like, do you see how this isn't in any way equivalent to a globe? The scale is very, very wrong.
Same time, with your heading is subjective to
Viz with a $5 tip says, cheers for your work. Thank you very much.
only you. The compass is a constant force. It's constantly pulling the needle to the center, the source in the center. You see how much pivot is here when there is one
Is he
field?
confusing compass the navigation tool, compass the geometry tool? I don't think so. I think he just doesn't understand that the little model that he's made here on his table is not equivalent to the actual reality of the globe. Green guy says, I was talking in general about everyone you cover.
One polarity, because going south doesn't change the fact that your compass needle, red half, is constantly being pulled to the source magnet, okay? That's why it doesn't work when there are two fields, because it's a single field instrument, a single pole instrument. It doesn't work.
Single field and singular pole are different. The Earth has a magnetic field that's generated by, you know, the fact that it's on an axis and it's rotating and it has a constantly rotating iron core that's like spinning and causing a field, and like it has poles that are kind of like the central nexus of where that field is, like, you know, there's two of them, right? There's two poles and it's a magnetic field of the Earth.
Very clearly identified as the indication. It's an analog instrument. It is the instrument that we use to determine latitude, okay? Left and right is east and west, like a clock, okay? So what you're doing is trying to claim that a compass works with both pole acting on it at the same time. It does not. You know why it does not? Because a bar magnet is not what we live in. We live in a terrestrial field, first of all. Second of all, look, there is nothing in the middle. They zap this at both ends. Electric dipole moment. Opposing orientational polarization. There is nothing in the middle. It's not magnetic in the middle. Only the ends.
It's polar, you might say. It's a bipolar magnet, you might say.
A compass does not work with two opposing polarity field acting on it simultaneously.
At least he's having fun. True. And anyway, I came across this video randomly, but I also found his TikTok channel. So he has a full TikTok channel of this stuff.
Oh, you mean like this? Is that what you're referring to? All the way around? Lining up with the latitudes, just like the compass? Because there's only one fixed direction to the center source of the magnetic field created by the, the source magnet, the point charge, whatever you want to call it. Strange how the equator lines up too, huh? Weird. Very strange. Looks like I have the exact same thing that you said I wasn't doing.
I'm gonna call this doesn't understand the scientific method on the bingo card. Because, like, I don't know what he thinks he's doing. You know what I mean? What is he... I understand that he thinks he is illustrating something that must be true on a big flat Earth that he believes to be the reality. But I don't understand how he thinks this is demonstrative of that as evidence. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one.
A compass derives all geometric outcomes, any plane curve of trajectory, and closed curve from 2 points. It computes
Wait,
your
is there a conspiracy theorist in Twitch chat?
position angle of symmetric shapes. PASS, position angle sextant square. A compass does not function when 2 poles are acting on it at the same time. It is a single pole, horizontal plane instrument. Do you see how much pivot is in my needle in the same width of the magnet? Because it's a single pole, horizontal plane instrument for making complete passes around a fixed point of its source attraction. A south magnetic pole cannot exist and your compass function properly. A compass derives all geometric outcomes.
Emasaur says he is confusing the 2 types of compasses. Did he, like, Google a thing about compasses and got the wrong one?
Using a flat map, because that's what we use, putting my arrows where the iron filings are, how does my compass needle pointing in all these different directions help me navigate this map with real-life flight paths on it with a...
Just a Peach says he really doesn't understand magnets. I think he thinks there's only one end that's magnetic. I'm trying to, because he pointed out the fact that, like, at the ends, at the poles of the magnet is where the magnetic thing was happening. What you observe as the magnetic thing, you know, the actual, it picks stuff up, you know? Does he not understand that the magnet requires both? It's not like 2 separate things that could function individually. Like, you can't separate the North from the South Pole on a magnet. They're part of the same system, right? Like, you literally can't just have one.
A fixed center point that your compass is always pointing to.
Have I seen an actual full picture of the Earth from space? Yes. Thanks for asking.
This somehow makes sense. Suspended in nothingness from an explosion of nothingness held together by fictitious forces, but the sole fundamental application of this precision analog instrument used for navigation.
Oh, okay, maybe one more quick one from this guy and then we'll move on. But I am kind of astounded by what he's doing here.
Attention all passengers, this is your captain speaking. We just want to let you know that you can remove your seatbelts. We have achieved the level of flight, cruising out.
Oh my god, does he think this little car that he screwed a level onto is... Oh god. Toreador says the hub is magnetic. That's how it works.
Of 30,000 feet, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your flight.
You use your 4 fingers on the dash to maintain your horizon. You know which direction you're going. You keep your airplane level at cruising altitude. You can tell your pitch. You can tell your tilt. You can tell your turn level.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing fictitious forces and curvature out of nowhere. None of our instruments are designed for spherical surfaces, and our training facilities did not train us with these fictitious forces. So we were told to assume the Earth is flat and non-rotating, and now we're all gonna die. Smoke them if you got them. Our instruments no longer work.
Attention all.
That's the Hot Wheels experiment. That's conclusive stuff right there. You know, every once in a while I think, have I just covered every conspiracy thing? And I see a grown man playing with a fucking Hot Wheel he screwed a level into, and I go, nah, I still have work to do. Okay, let's move on. I did save him, though, so good news. We'll probably be seeing him again someday. Woo! Oh, fuck this guy. This is that Tom Palladino guy that does the scalar, what he claims is scalar energy healing. The thing where you take your picture and you put it in a box and he says it'll cure your herpes. Anyway, he did a live conference thing, so let's take a look at some of this.
Y por saber que hay algo distinto que puede cambiar el mundo y que ya existe. No ha estado con nosotros echándole una mano, quiere llegar al punto de
muchísimo, o sea,
is I'm going to speak about the lives of working with.
cada vez que valga por su tiempo.
I'm going to make this well worth your while.
Voy a hacer que valga la pena haber venido.
Each of you is about to change Miami,
Cada uno de ustedes va a cambiar Miami,
and then Latin America,
Latinoamérica
and then the world.
y el mundo.
This is simple and easy.
Es simple, sencillo.
We're working with scientific instruments that will allow us to make a difference in the lives of people around the world.
Trabajamos con instrumentos científicos que van a cambiar la vida de todos alrededor del mundo.
Simple.
So he went to Miami to shill his scam to people? I'm so disappointed in how many people showed up to this fucking Holiday Inn conference room. Might actually be a library conference room. Looks a little small. Look at how many people showed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I see 23 people.
And easy.
Simple y sencillo.
And we're just going to speak about helping people. This has nothing to do with politics, money, big business.
Solo hablaremos de cómo ayudar a la gente, no hablaremos de política, ni religión.
Toreador says, scalar healing. We all know Hannah is a proponent of scaly healing.
I'm a humanitarian, I'm a Christian, I want to help people. You're going to see just how simple and easy it is to help
Soy
millions
cristiano,
of
soy
people around the
humanitario.
world.
Quiero enseñar cómo vamos a
Okay.
ayudar.
Are you ready?
¿Están listos?
Okay. I work with scalar energy instruments. These are
Trabajo con instrumentos de energía escalar.
unique instruments. This is not electricity. It's
I wonder how he translates scalar energy. Energy, sure. Scalar? Is there an equivalent?
energy from the sun, the stars.
Esta es una energía que no es electricidad, es una energía que proviene del sol.
And with
What do you mean? Energy from the sun isn't scalar. It has a vector.
scalar energy, you can achieve what you cannot readily
Holy
achieve
input. Thanks
with
for following.
electricity.
Con la energía escalar podemos lograr cosas que no se pueden con energía eléctrica.
So we're working with the energy of the stars. I can capture this star energy with
Yo
instruments.
puedo capturar energía
No,
de
you
las
can't.
estrellas con este instrumento.
These are custom-built scalar energy instruments.
Son hechos a medida, son hechos especialmente para esto.
And this
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If someone's trying to present you a medical device like this at a fucking Holiday Inn, there's a reason that they didn't go to Pfizer and sell it for $7 billion. It's because they're scamming you and they don't actually have anything worthwhile. Holy input, thank you for gifting a sub.
type of technology is going to change the world.
Esta tecnología cambiará el mundo.
We'll explain just a few things we're doing today.
Vamos a
And
explicar algunas
you'll
cosas
see the future as to how this extrapolates over time.
y veremos cómo esto se va a aplicar a futuro.
Okay, the miracle of scalar energy. Go ahead.
El milagro de la energía escalar.
This is the energy from the sun and the stars.
Esta es la energía del sol y las estrellas.
And the
And it gets sucked into a pyramid, because of course it does.
energy always manifests as a double helix. It's
La
a
energía se manifiesta siempre en doble forma.
Energy always manifests as a double helix. Hold on. I don't see a double helix, but energy is definitely coming out of this because light energy is a kind of energy. Literally, me moving it around is also a kind of energy, or at least work. Using energy to do work. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to say all energy is double helix. That's not true. That's not true at all.
It's a phi spiral.
¿It's what?
Phi, it's phi. It's a phi spiral, or
Espiral. Es una espiral.
the same configuration as DNA.
La misma configuración del
If you can
DNA.
advance that.
O de
So-
ADN, perdón.
Go ahead. So scalar energy creates DNA.
La energía escalar crea el
The double
ADN.
helix, the double helix. So go back. That's scalar energy.
Esa es energía escalar.
This is a copper
Oh, holy
pyramid,
input. Thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs.
and there's a Tesla
Very nice of you.
coil
Thank you.
Esta es
that's
una
creating a double helix.
pirámide de cobre y abajo es un cobre y ahí está produciendo la energía escalar.
That's the beauty of scalar energy.
Esa es la belleza de la energía escalar.
It's not electricity,
No es electricidad.
and it creates our DNA.
Y esto crea nuestro ADN.
You can see the
How
same
does the
geometry.
ability to do work manifest as a double helix? Well, you see, I have DNA. So, is this word salad? Yes, this is word salad.
Podemos ver la misma geometría,
The same ratio and proportion.
mismo ratio y proporción.
So how important is this energy?
¿Qué tan importante es esta energía?
It gives us life.
Es la vida.
It gives us life.
Nos da vida.
And we can enhance human and animal life
Podemos expandir la vida
and plant life.
de las plantas, los animales, las
Shout out
personas.
to plants.
Okay, let's advance that.
I love
One more.
a cell wall.
Okay, I believe this is energy from God. I believe
que
this
esta
is
es
the
la
light
energía.
of God.
De Dios, es la luz de Dios.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and say this isn't very scientific. I've discovered a new energy. It's the light of God. All right, can you measure it and show me the measurement, please?
You have on your seats photographs.
En sus sillas tienen ahí fotografías.
Photographs. There's a photograph.
Blessed Mother appears in scalar light. Oh my god, he picked fucking Blessed Mother because it's a Hispanic community. He's intentionally doing this because there's a high likelihood of Catholicism in Hispanic communities. He's literally tailoring his grift to the audience. Your Honor, I'm gonna submit this as Exhibit A, that this is premeditated, as he is intentionally choosing supernatural, quote-unquote, evidence that works specifically for this audience. Why do I have the gavel if I'm the lawyer? I don't know. I don't think through bits before I do them.
Of Mother Mary.
Una fotografía de la Madre
Here's
María.
a photograph of Saint Michael.
Fun fact, if you're a lawyer and you bring a bigger gavel to court than the judge, you become the judge. Look it up. Or don't. I don't care.
En la otra fotografía del Arcángel Miguel.
This is not electricity.
Esto no es electricidad.
This is divine energy.
Esta es energía divina.
That's scalar energy.
This
Esa es
is
energía
divine
escalar.
energy.
And that's what I control. I
People like this need to be prosecuted. Just frankly. You're never going to be able to stop people from falling for scams like this. There's just too many externalities to deal with it. It's like drugs. If you wanted people to stop doing black tar heroin, A, you provide them care and help instead of punitively punishing them for their addiction, and you punish dealers or people who manufacture. This guy is a dealer and manufacturer of pure uncut bullshit. People like this should be in fucking jail because he is stealing money from vulnerable people through lies and claims that he should not be making that are medical in nature. Now, in a rational country with a functional FDA, he'd get fucked. But as of right now, who knows? He might be working for the FDA next week, so we're doing great.
control divine
Esto es lo que yo
energy.
puedo controlar.
And when you control the life force,
Cuando controlas la fuerza
when
de
you
luz,
control that 0 point energy,
la energía llamada 0.0,
you have control over nature.
tienes control sobre la naturaleza.
My instruments, working with the life force energy,
Mis instrumentos trabajan con la luz, la fuerza de
allow
luz.
me to control nature.
Me permite
Andrew Tate can't be pardoned by Donald Trump. He's not charged with anything in the United States that I'm aware of. I did see the article that says his administration is putting pressure on Romania to lift travel restrictions for the Tate brothers, which is fucked up, but get things correct when you say them.
controlar la naturaleza.
And when I can control nature, I can do incredible things.
Cuando controlo la energía,
Okay?
puedo hacer cosas increíbles.
Okay, go ahead. That's St. Michael. Okay, advance it one more. So I'm going to speak about 3 functions that we can achieve with scalar energy.
Puedo hablar de 3 funciones que puedo alcanzar, 3 objetivos con la energía escalar.
Remember, I have
Light Force sounds like a Power Rangers thing. Hell, I'm pretty sure it is a Power Rangers thing. I think you're thinking of Light Speed Rescue and Wild Force.
scalar energy instruments that can
Dino Force. There's a lot of forces.
control divine energy.
Recuerden que tengo este instrumento que puede controlar la energía.
So I can direct that energy to break apart a pathogen, a virus, a
Esa energía la
fungus.
puedo utilizar para eliminar cualquier patógeno.
So these
limpiar.
instruments can be programmed to break apart the herpes virus
Por ejemplo, podemos eliminar el virus del herpes
or break apart the bacterium that causes tuberculosis.
o la bacteria que produce tuberculosis.
Okay. We have another instrument, scalar instrument, that will create, that will assemble.
Tate could flee to the US and Trump refuses to extradite. See, that I think is a reasonable thing, but then people should say that and not say he's going to pardon them. That's not what that is. If your shorthand conveys an entirely different reality than the longhand, it's not shorthand, it's just misinformation.
Tenemos otro instrumento de energía escalar que puede ensamblar nutrientes.
So these instruments allow me to control and create, transmute vitamins, amino acids.
Podemos introducir vitaminas, aminoácidos.
Oh, I barely remember Mighty Morphin Season 3. I was pretty checked out at that point. I never liked the Crow guys. I never liked their ninja forms. Don't even get me started on Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. Ugh.
Myself do not take a multivitamin.
Yo personalmente no tomo multivitaminas.
I receive my vitamins and amino acids by assembling them by way of light.
Yo recibo estos nutrientes a través de la luz.
Okay. And then another function, the last function, we're going to speak about how these instruments balance your brain waves in your 7 meridians.
Otra
your
función
chakras.
del instrumento es balancear
Okay.
las
I think we get his whole scam. Let's take a look at the bingo card. It's been a while. Actually, if we looked at it at all, probably do that. Let me take a look. What do we have so far? Flat Earth. Believes they speak to aliens regularly. Hannah mentions cheese. Incorrectly believes evidence is self-evident. Vibes-based conspiracy. Believes sci-fi technology exists. Accidentally based. Dimension beyond our own. Shilling scamming. Hannah mentions Blu-rays. Word salad. Did we have? I don't think we had satanic yet, did we? Doesn't understand how. Misunderstanding of the scientific method. Is that it? Question mark? Non-binary says, question, does my conspiracy theory track every letter has an ASCII code? It's 2 digits. Any idea what number the letter X has an ASCII? You guessed it, 14. Reference to the 14 words. That's why Elon is obsessed with the letter X. Yeah, that's a pretty specious claim. I get it. I don't think any of that is... Like, I believe you that that is actually that. But you definitely need more than just that in order to claim it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't surprise me. Let me describe it this way. Would it surprise me if it came out that that was true and that was intentional? No. But without evidence of that, saying it is... There's no reason to say it because there's not evidence, you know what I mean?
Wife research team specializing in EMF protection and emerging technologies, amongst other things. Our previous broadcasts have revealed...
Let me put it this way. All you would do by spreading that, because it is a specious claim that, well, may have some, like, level of truth to it, because you have no evidence, because it's not something you can show evidence to people of directly, all you can say is, well, it fits his personality. All they're going to do is think you're insane, which it is a specious claim due to the lack of evidence, and they're going to assume in the future that claims made about Elon Musk that do have evidence are specious because, oh my god, these people are always just freaking out about Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Don't make statements that conform to the things you believe just because they conform to the thing you believe. It weakens your other positions even when they are evidenced.
So much about the wireless body area network, the IEEE, Internet of Things, Internet of Bio-Nano Things, and the
Internet of Bio-Nano Things. That's a new one for me.
Upcoming surveillance state. These interviews seem almost prophetic now as we see this extreme acceleration into the age of AI, but really, there's no prophecy involved. It's all based on research of documents written long ago. Some of us were just early in warning about it. In our last interview, we revealed a graphic from the IEEE that eerily resembled the mark of the beast, with body sensors connected to the right hand and the forehead.
Yeah, body sensors go all over your body to sense things. Don't know if you know that, it's kind of in the name.
Well, now we have more.
Mark of the Beast on the bingo card, yes.
Suspect we are much deeper into the AI world society than most...
Anna mentions Power Rangers needs to be a slot. I don't talk about Power Rangers that often. Is this AI? No.
Realize, and the players involved include people like Elon Musk and Sam Altman, though that is just the surface level of all of this. Today, Hope and Tavon join me to decode a lot of what we see around us today and where this is all leading us.
And now I wanted to explain what we're seeing with movements like Facebook saying we're going to get rid of the fact checkers, and the narrative that X is a free speech platform, right? So this is a tweet that I put out, or a post on X, where I said, let me be clear to those who might be confused. When these third-party platforms implemented censorship, they lost the real data that they now need to implement their AI and surveillance. They desperately need this data in order to know how to track and trace you, manipulate you, and harass you. People stopped posting their thoughts because they were censored. And the overseers of the New World Order were no longer able to predict the public's reactions to whatever new enslavement agenda they would try to push.
Okay, so her view is that she believes that Meta and other social media that are towing the line for Trump are doing away with fact-checking and doing less moderation on their platforms as part of a PSYOP? PSYOP on the bingo card.
This is why their current AI is so flawed and completely out of touch with reality.
Or maybe it just sucks. Maybe the product just fucking sucks. It doesn't need to be a conspiracy that AI sucks.
They realize this so that now they're backpedaling, trying to get a greater population to re-engage on their platforms.
Can I offer another possibility here?
Yeah, please
their
do.
AI that they've released is purposely flawed so that people will be encouraged, because I just had this...
Can I see your card, Densetsu?
conversation yesterday with someone. They're saying you just have to engage with it more, input more, so that we train it. And my response to that is, I think people need to consider, I'm reading off my tweet, I think people need to consider the fact that it has bias in the first place is concerning, first and foremost. Why does it have bias? The fact that it has it is a problem, right? So I release something
Wrong
with bias
link.
and I ask you to retrain it. Well, why didn't you just release it without that bias in the first place?
Oh,
Why
there
is
it
it
is.
there? But you
Let me take a look. Hannah mentions she's Mark of the Beast, free space, psyop incorrectly believes evidence is self-evident. Did we have incorrectly believes evidence is self-evident? Double check that real quick. We did! Densetsu, you win. Do you use one bingo card? Because I feel like you win a lot. Like a statistically aberrant amount. Just putting it out there. You're only supposed to use one bingo card at a time. Maybe you just refresh it and you know what ones are the common ones. Yeah, make sure you're only using one card. That is a win, though. Let me see. Like I said, I am in the negative right now, so I can't actually gift that membership, but I will write your name down, and when I get paid, I have to find my pen after I find the video. There it is.
Hope and Tavon are a husband and wife research team specializing in EMF protection and emerging technologies, amongst other things. Our previous broadcasts have revealed so much about the wireless body area network, the IEEE, Internet of Things, Internet of Bio-Nano Things, and the upcoming surveillance state.
Why did this skip back? Am I crazy?
You want me to engage with it so that I train it and get it to think better. Okay, so any reprogramming, quote unquote, that they might try to do to it, as in the user, is actually just a trap to capture dissidents for pre-crime purposes later. So they release a faulty thing that has,
We're doing Minority Report.
6 hands, seven fingers or whatever to make you think, oh, it's just faulty. It needs our help. Why are we building the beast system? Anyway, but it needs our help. So I'm engaged.
Scentbird lady, you mean this lady over here? This her? Believe this is her. Yeah, I've been wanting to cover her, but I'm scared too, because wasn't she at the inauguration? Am I crazy? Does she have the ear of the fucking president?
Engaging with it, saying, well, no, the tank man at Tiananmen Square was, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden they have that data about me and what I really believe about the world. And, the number of people that have had conversations with Grok, for example, about how dangerous mRNA is, it's still said.
Oh my god, they're talking about fucking having conversations with AI!
It's good.
It is good, but don't use AI to get answers for things.
Did you manage to train it? No. Right?
Yeah.
So this is, I think, just think, people, please.
It's, it's the
I think I mean agree with the crazy conspiracies I'm into.
same pattern as like what I see happening with, online agents and psyops and stuff, where they will provoke you. They put out, the behavior is they put out a provoking statement to get you to respond. Right. So it's like, that's what the AI is doing now. It's like, here's a lie. Now I'm going to get you to respond. It puts the burden of proof, shifts the burden of proof onto the victim.
Elk Owl, thanks for a $25 tips as a little help to get you through hard times. The tinfoil must flow. Thank you so much, Elk Owl. And with that, we are less than $100 away from the karaoke stream. You'd like to get us there?
Or
Use
the
tip
target.
link. Thank you again.
To make them say, this is why you're wrong, and let me prove it, and give all this extra information. So that's a CIA tactic there.
And it doesn't change its bias after you've done it.
Right.
With all of the people that are, let's just say, quote unquote, anti-vaxxers on X.
Quote unquote.
The amount of information that's been allowed to be posted about the problems with the COVID injections on X. It's allowed.
Oh my god, I hate this shit. Why do we live? Genuinely, I am not religious. I don't believe there's a hell. I don't believe there's a heaven. But damn, sometimes I wish there was, just for people like fucking Andrew Wakefield. The people who have propagated anti-vax stuff are harming so many people.
out on the
have harmed so many people, will harm so many people.
platform, okay? And yet Grok is still saying it's super good.
Yeah, it is. Maybe grow up. Just a Peach with a dollar says they want it to lie to them their way their loved ones do. I'm mean sometimes. I don't think that's mean. I think that's accurate.
Why? Did we manage to train it with our millions of posts? No. They're just collecting data about us. Yes, they're training their AI that's far above Grok, okay, with your data. Two,
Data.
number one, organized social manipulation of the populations. Alex Karp of Palantir takes credit for stopping the entire rise of the far right in Europe. Tell me how this software stopped. And
Hell is people. Technically, the saying is hell is other people, and it's not actually about how other people suck. That saying is more supposed to be about how disturbing it is for us to perceive ourselves through the eyes of another. When we are in focus of someone else's perception, all of a sudden we become very aware of ourselves as an object in the view of others. It's not so much about like, oh, other people suck as much as it is, oh, it sucks to be perceived by other people and to have to like be an object in the perception of others. Anyway.
The entirety of Europe becoming far right.
And also something about a three-way that doesn't work out. I don't know.
Right. How? Wow. Because they are able to socially engineer you with tools that you can't even begin to fathom. So
yes, yeah.
No, it's a really good point. Thank you for bringing it up. You know, I put this out here just as talking points because our observation, we're remembering back to where I used to be able to just go on the internet and do research and talk to people and make relationships, and it was all kind of okay. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos, but then in 2016, they called it the adpocalypse happened.
Yes.
Where basically a whole bunch of people got their channels deleted because the advertisers didn't like the content.
So they don't like the far right. They don't like vaccines. They're anti-vaxxers.
The people were making.
So anyone that is not agreeing with them in totality about their pseudoscience nonsense they're upset about.
And then it happened again in 2020, where a whole bunch of more channels got deleted because of COVID stuff and other things, election interference and whatever else it is. Well, no, I'm sorry, election interference was Facebook, right?
Yes,
and
Facebook.
COVID stuff. So they censored like crazy. And what they did when they did that is they censored all of the real data that people were like, nobody's saying what they really feel, what they really think.
Because that's what they were training their AI on. They were training it on the stupid people that didn't see what was going on, right? Sorry, I don't mean to call them stupid. But
Yes,
you know,
so what I'm saying is they censored the
Idiot says they're a genius on the bingo card. That's a fun one.
real data.
Yes.
So now their AI is faulty because they censored the real data and they trained it on the stupid people.
Right.
You know?
Right. But both points are true, by the way. What you're saying is 100% true. They are allowing more to train their AIs. What I'm saying is that still the public release AIs are still stupid and spewing propaganda. The truth that they're getting out of us is
we haven't even begun. The propaganda war that's about to take off is never gonna end. Have we all really taken a step back and taken stock of the fact that we are literally entering an era of never-ending propaganda wars? And that's already been a thing, don't get me wrong. I'm not, naive. I know propaganda by state and private actors is a thing. But I mean, we are about to put, and are putting actively, propaganda manufacturing tools into the hands of every person in the world, including every government, every special interest group, everything. And everything's gonna just be bad for the rest of our lives. It's Frizia, thanks for 54 months at tier 2. Appreciate it.
It's for the AIs above the public level AIs. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah. And also we brought up this example about a year ago, I think, on one of our
Like, the idea of a common reference frame from which we as a society can all argue from, that at least we agree on certain basic facts, that we can, you know, have a jumping point to have a conversation, that's already been, like, iffy. Now it's just obliterated. Oh.
shows with you about something that you came across when you were in your free energy research of people that were using chat GBT.
Yes.
Tip goal includes one puppet duet every 50 over the goal is an additional puppet song. It is, it's true.
So can you just remind us what
it'll be a whole karaoke stream, one puppet duet, one extra for every $50 or something.
was?
Yeah.
Which is a lot. I know. I'm a bitch. I promise. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't need it. The e-begging will calm down soon. I fucking promise. Things have been rough.
This person had an earlier version of Chat GPT he was using to solve a problem with a circuit that he saw was putting out over unity results, generating more energy from the environment than what he was putting into it, basically drawing excess current from the ground. He had a ground cable connected to a circuit, and it was drawing a certain number. I think it was like 120% efficient, something like that. And he had he put his
Am I gonna do the Phantom of the Opera? People in chat will pick the songs I do, and sometimes I'll pick it, probably.
His variables, his parameters, you know, the capacitance.
Okay. Done with this guy too. I'm gonna run and use the bathroom real quick, and then we will get into Hans Wormhat's new video, which is a transvestigation of Candace Owens. I'll be right back. Chair will stick around and tell you all about, The Food of the Gods, based on a story by H.G. Wells. Ooh. Be right back. Be nice to new Chair, they're shy. I'm back. What's the new Chair's name? I haven't named Chair. We'll have to collectively name. Chat, any suggestions for the Chair's new name? Not only is it a gamer chair, look at it's got like a footrest. Oh, you guys can't see it. Careful this. Look at that! Footrest! And it does, wait. It reclines! Ah! Anyway. Ugh. Anyway, back to the stream. Hans Wormhat transvestigating, Candace Owens. Check it out.
This is the real Candace Owens documentary, and that's because I'm going to be telling the real truth about the situation. That Candace Owens is just as much of a tran than, say, Michelle Obama or the French one, whoever. The one that Candace is outing as a pedophile slash transgender. And
I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. I don't know what stupid bullshit Candace Owens is up to these days. By the sound of it, I'm glad that I don't know what she's up to these days.
Reminiscent, I guess, of Joan Rivers talking about the Michael Obama, everybody knows. And yeah, this is
transphobia, transvestigation on the bingo card, of course.
It's just a puppet, so everybody knows. Joan River already told us that everybody knows. It's okay, calm down, everybody knows.
Is Hans aware that Joan Rivers was a comedian by trade? Her job was literally to be a comedian and make jokes. And I really wonder if I could go back in time and talk to Joan Rivers before she died and really explain this joke is gonna ruin people's brains. Please don't make this joke. Would she care? I don't know. She's dead now, so I guess it doesn't matter, but... Just a Peach with $1 says, we're glad you're happy with the new chair. It's very comfortable. I appreciate it. It makes my job a lot easier. I'm not even kidding. Like, the old chair, I didn't realize how much it was, like, hurting my butt. This chair is, like, comfortable. It's supportive. It's nice.
Knows. Yeah, everybody knows. So what's going on when one of the everybody who already knows comes out and starts talking about it on a platform? Well, you know, some of them are allowed to be set as an example of what not to do. Somebody plays the villain. Somebody has to play the villain. So Candace Owen is just playing the villain, and they're not going to tell you the whole story, of course, that they're all in on it. It's not just Obama. Barbara Bush is just as busted, and there's
Take that, Barbara Bush, you bitch. Obama's, Clinton's, Biden's on the bingo card.
An unending list of former first ladies who are dudes, because they all are, and everybody in the media, and we've known this for years. This has been exposed. There's been entire communities built about trying to expose these people, and
no one makes entire communities out of stupid delusions. Who would do that? Humans? Never.
It's all just a big rabbit hole chase. If you're going, well, is this one trans? Is that one trans? Is that... They all are. They all share the same secret. Birds of a feather flock together. And in one way or another, they're a part of that unique, mixed up, muddled up, shook up world that we have.
Reference to the song Lola. L-O-L-A Lola. L-O-L-O-A Lola.
Today. So that's
Is it in bad taste for myself if I sing Lola on the karaoke stream? 'Cause I like that song. Is that in bad taste? Should I be offended? I'm not. I like that song. That song's kind of based, actually.
Enough of a overview. Candace Owens, you wanna make videos outing people as being potentially trans? You have the most enormous hands. Massive hands, massive straight across knuckles. That's not very feminine to me. And the turtlenecks are a favorite of trans individuals, as are the frumpy mom jeans trying to pretend like you have any amount of hips. This looked like...
I don't understand the hips thing. Last time I illustrated this. Not gonna this time, because I'm feeling self-conscious. But trans women are perfectly capable of having hips. Like, what are you talking about? That's insane that you think that that's not a thing. Like, not that every trans person are on HRT and it's none of anyone's business who is or isn't. But if you are on HRT in particular, your adipose tissue redistributes. You get wider hips. If you're young enough, your hips will continue to grow. I think I got just under the wire on that one, so that's nice.
Straight up goiter territory, but got the classic straight up and down tree trunk giraffe necks with questionable larynx sizes and square jaw with a powerful stare. A powerful, far apart. Is this one hunting or gathering? You decide. And here let's just get into some specifics of it. Oh, I mean, I guess first I'll rant about how these
Is
people...
it terrible that I find people transvestigating cis women to be in some level cathartic for me? I don't know. Makes me feel better about my own dysphoria.
Or gatekeepers.
Like, to be clear, I hate it. There's a huge level of racism in it. But on some level, it makes me go like, oh, this guy's fucking crazy. Why am I thinking so much about my bone structure? Who cares?
People want you to think that you're not allowed to have an opinion unless you're sitting behind a reporter desk, you look fancy, you have your facts laid out in ways that people are used to.
You have your facts laid out? What? To be trustworthy, I have to have facts laid out in a reasonable fashion for people to examine? Fucking elitist gatekeepers. I just want to make claims. Just let me make unsubstantiated claims, you cowards.
To on the TV, and you have your slides to go to and your talking points, and you're pulling up dates and names, and I'm just thinking, I watched some of this person's expose, whatever, and you know, some of it's interesting, but it's all, you could tell it's a media production. These people are gatekeepers, and truth is much more abundant and readily available. It doesn't have to be packaged in a certain way, and that's why ultimately these exposés are a giant waste of time, because they're not going to tell you any good truths. And also the hypocrisy of it. You're one yourself. You are one yourself. Of course you are. And you're not going to talk about that.
Does Hans transvestigate actual trans people as their correct gender? He has been on the record as saying that he thinks actual out trans people are secretly cis. Like, I know it's weird, but he does. Which makes me wonder, I want to know so badly if what he thinks I am. Like, on one level, I don't want to be perceived by him at all. But part of me wants to know, he's so strange. What does he think about me? You know? I'm openly a trans woman, but he finds that suspect. He doesn't ever believe people. So would he think I'm secretly cis? And I'm pretending to be trans? That would be interesting. But, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is.
So, anyways, it's all a big mind game. They're just playing their parts. Some of them, they know that they're playing a villain character, and they love it that hey, you get the okay to start outing some of these people for being trans. And, anyways, I watched the documentary. I thought the most interesting part was the Mimi character and how they subtly exposed by
what about
making
NBs?
some media...
I actually don't know what he thinks about non-binary people.
Article that subtly referenced. That's how these people work, with the subtleties and the owning the media. That's BS. Really, this stuff is much more common knowledge than you would think, and it should just be like a well-known thing. It's kind of more like the way Joan Rivers talks about it. Everybody knows about it.
Joan Rivers, the comedian.
Okay. No, don't get so worried about it. That's actual real life that most of us with the brain kind of already know. And what makes it more fascinating is when it's allowed to unfold, when you're allowed to get a peek of it on the world stage. But most people generally already know that Michelle Obama's a dude, but so are you. Candace Owens, always doing the the triad claw, this one, big on the triad claw. I guess let's talk about Candace Owens' body more, because they're probably going to be talking about Michelle Obama and how obvious of a dude Michelle Obama is. Same story for you. You know, you're glammed up, but your hands are massive. You have extremely long humerus bones, and you're clearly playing it up with the glamour magic as much as you can, but you get a candid shot like this, woof. You don't know if you're running into a streetwalker. I like to imagine...
layers on that one. Harold Elboman says, if you want a nano cleanse, I posted my pictures of John Bastide's Super Bowl piano from New Orleans Museum of Art to the photography channel. Yeah, let's do a quick cleanse and take a look at that. Ooh. I still haven't watched the Super Bowl halftime show, I'm gonna be honest. It's a cool piano, though. Pretty. Get some other shots. Oh. Very cool. Bench actually looks comfortable, surprisingly.
And like, if you just turn a corner and you see this thing, it's like very much streetwalker vibes.
There's a guy on the internet who exposes penguins as a hoax. I'm sure he would expose Hannah as a Sicilman. This is the guy. This is that guy. Also, sorry I pinned that.
Who has the farther apart?
Chitara says, very ironic that Candace is being transvestigated. I've even seen her fans call her gender identity into question. I shouldn't find that funny, but I kind of do.
Guys, who actually has a jaw? Anyways, this stuff is so tired and old, but it's tired and old to be pretending like saying Michelle Obama is trans is any news.
A girthy cigar.
Or any other leader of any other country, because they all are. So a voice told him the way. I'm going to talk for a little bit about the way people hold microphones, because I think it's really funny, and it's one of those subtle tells. Of course, it's not like 100%, and a lot of these things you can learn how to act. When people become MTF or whatever, their whole life becomes about, well, how do I act in a feminine, masculine way?
I find it so interesting that he's speaking on behalf of male to female transgender people like myself. Like, he's like talking almost like from experience, like, this is what your life is like. Let me tell you, not really. Is it a consideration sometimes? Yeah, being in social situations can be really hard because you get self-conscious about the way you're being perceived. But it's not all of my life. That's not even most of my life. Most of my life is like all of yours. It's, I have bills to pay. I spend time with people I care about. I go to events occasionally when I can and have fun. I take care of, like, banal things, you know, like chores. Just another person, believe it or not. Just gotta do the same boring shit everyone else has to do most of the time. You shower, you use the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you do the laundry, you do some dishes. Just life. Nemesaur with a $50 tip says Wisconsin spring primary is today. Time to vote, Wisconsinites. Make sure you do that. Wow, we're under $50 away from the karaoke stream. Sorry, my stimming. I used to do this as a kid, and they made me stop. They're like, stop doing that.
And, you know, a lot of times, the way the society is built, people just accept guys crossing their legs like women today, because so many people do it.
It's almost like anyone can do it if they have two legs.
And similar things, I think they're not just always trained the best. And the way that Candace Owen holds a microphone is just very masculine. And the way that these, compared to the soft way that these ones hold a microphone, I think it's just a funny observation that I've made over the years of a difference between the way men and women hold microphones. Michelle Obama, you're going to claim that Michelle Obama is trans, and people will come out of the woodwork saying, oh, but Michelle Obama has been pregnant. Same thing for you, Candace. You do the same thing that they do. You buy the moon bump. You pretend to be pregnant just like Michelle Obama did. It reminds me of Jesus telling us to take the log out of our own eye before we go and start telling others to take the splinter out of theirs. Candace Owens is just as much of a transgender as anyone else on the world stage. So these alleged, this one, oh my god.
There's a masculine way to hold a microphone. You gotta understand, for people like this, when they see cylindrical objects, in particular cylindrical objects being held, their first thought is, that's a penis. Don't hold that like a penis. They see penises everywhere. Everything cylindrical is a phallus, right? So, like, immediately he sees that and goes, what's a masculine or feminine way? The feminine way would be like it's a penis. The masculine way would be like, not like a penis at all. I know that's ridiculous, and I know it sounds insane, because it is insane, but a lot of this is very much based on anxieties around, like, sexuality and perceived sexuality and gender and how it relates to sexuality. I'm not saying it's a Freudian thing. I'm really not. I don't like Freud. I'm just saying, like, how else can you interpret this other than he has extreme anxiety surrounding gender norms and the perceived sexuality and gender of himself and others?
Goodness, on the left, that does not look right. These are all the same. Oh, you go get your moon bump and you go get your photos. The hands. Look at the hand. And the ratio is, of course, masculine. Masculine digit ratio. I'll talk about that later. Look at the way it's holding the microphone. Look at how huge.
The use of it as a pronoun is quite disturbing. Really does not consider trans people, which Candace Owens isn't anyway, but he believes her to be. Using it when that is not something someone directly requests of you or makes it apparent that they prefer. Not cool! Not cool.
The hand is, and I want to talk about the microphone hand holding really quick, just because this is how dudes hold microphones, and then women hold it more softly. The drag queens are much better trained than, but, you know, for them it's natural. Women pretending to be men, pretending to be women.
So he thinks that's a Glenn, or no, not Glenn or Glenda. No, that's Ed Wood. What's the one with Julie Andrews, where it's the performer that's a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman? Victor Victoria. It's a Victor Victoria thing, he thinks. Okay. Not Mrs. Doubtfire.
Anyone who is this close to Donna is trans.
He thinks Donald Trump is a trans man.
And just proof of that is Donna loves the Miss America, Miss Universe. That is all about androgen.
He owned Miss America at some point. Stone Corbell says, remember how men and women evolved methods of holding a microphone? That's hard-coded into our DNA.
The androgynous, promoting MTF as the pinnacle of female beauty. This world has been flipped upside down by...
I don't think it is pew askew. From what I've seen of him, I think he's deeply uncomfortable with his own gender identity. Like, not that he's trans. I don't think he is. Though that's none of my business either way. But I get the feeling he's talked about how he was made fun of as a kid for being scrawny, and he felt that other boys treated him like he wasn't masculine, and his secondary sexual characteristics weren't what, you know, society was telling him men should be. Instead of, like, dealing with that in some more typical fashion, he developed this maladaptive coping mechanism where he went, actually, all of the secondary sexual characteristics that you ascribe to men are secretly for women, and everyone is secretly trans. Like, I know that's bizarre, but he's an outlier. It is bizarre, that's why we're looking at him.
Satan and his minions. And the Bible talks about this. Black and white will be flipped, up and down will be flipped, good and bad will be flipped,
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
What's masculine becomes feminine. What's feminine becomes masculine. That's how Satan operates. Suspended on YouTube for hate speech. Ginormous collarbones. Very sus picture here. Trying to tell you to look up there, but I don't know. It's looking like something sus down there to me. Probably prior to some facial feminization. Candace Owens looks like had a lot of facial feminization going on, but that body is absolutely massive. Just like Michelle Obama, just like the person that you're going to be criticizing for their masculine body. You have the same masculine body with the huge collarbones. Your eyes are so far apart, they are practically on the side of your head. Again, really loving the triad claw. Becoming Bridget. Just like becoming Michelle. Okay, that is not feminine at all.
You hate this?
Looks
Yeah, it's
ready
terrible.
to go on the field to
4 minutes.
pass a pigskin around. So, this character has already shown themselves to be somebody who's their character is going to say inappropriate things. And that's what I think that this whole charade is.
That was overt anti-Semitism on the bingo card and 9/11 out of nowhere for the image he just showed.
Hey, we need one of those unstable characters on the world stage that are allowed to say no topics. We're going to have you start slowly talking about this trans thing. And you'll see all the people in the woodworks coming out, and it gives club members a moment to shine, to be like, how dare you? There's already so many people, how dare you say this about Michelle Obama?
Amber says, really love we've resurrected phrenology, but have you felt how big my lobes are? I know so many things, and my criminal portion of my brain is huge!
And, you know, they're partially right, because how dare you say this, because you are the same exact thing. But, yeah, they serve as a way for people to show how much they are outraged at questioning people's gender. And I guess this is worth pointing out that part of the gaslighting attempt and all that, Candace Owens does serve as a gatekeeper, and part of the system. They want you to think that you have to have all of these different evidence, linking Michelle Obama's include. They really want you to think that way and to set those goalposts for yourself. For, oh, I'm not allowed to think that somebody's trans unless I have all this paperwork showing.
I mean, first of all, it's none of your business if anyone's trans, but if you're gonna accuse someone, which is a weird thing to even say, it's not a bad thing that someone's trans. Yeah, some evidence would help.
Got their facial feminization surgery, when it's so much simpler than that it comes down to skull and bones, bone structure. And that's a big, I think, misleading part of this creature's current campaign, is that they want you to think that you need all of this hidden info and connecting all these dots and, you know, the red string on a map to figure out whether someone's trans or not, when really it just comes down to bone structure. Baphomet hand sign. Him too. Really, I don't know what else to say besides this. Loves the color orange, looking like a fresh MK Ultra.
MK Ultra on the bingo card.
Right there, looking scary with the expression. They are clowns and actors and demonic, channeling demons, who knows, but...
Satanic on the bingo card? I'd say demonic counts as satanic.
They're...
Look at how many bingo spots we would have missed if I had cut this out a minute or two ago.
In it together, and they all share the same secret. At the end of the day, it's not a coincidence that Harvey Weinstein has a weird-looking genital. They all have weird-looking genitals. They're all mixed up.
What?
Muddled up, just like the Lola song. And they're always joking about it, and all. It's the big secret. And they want you to think that it's like 2 of them, or 3 of them, or maybe that one. No, it's all of them. Candace Owens, no different than anybody else. It's just that their character, notice the bright orange. Who even owns a bright orange blazer?
Plenty of people? What the fuck?
Side joke color.
Gitara with 100 bits says, my dad is like this, not with transvestigation stuff, but with the self-conscious gender norms and behavior. I got a lot of men don't do that from him, and fearing that I would turn out gay because I mostly had female friends and few male friends while growing up. He was worried because a real man wouldn't pass up the opportunity to sleep with all of them. We were teenagers when he said this. Some men are definitely not okay. Apologies if this is a trauma dump. No, it's fine. My dad was like that too. Like, literally, I'd be like, like, as a teenager or a child, I'd be like, can I have, like, chocolate? Because, you know, people like chocolate. And he'd be like, what, are you on your period? What, are you, a girl? Well, now that you mention it. But, you know, couldn't say that at the time. I do want to point out, my enjoyment of chocolate has nothing to do with my gender. I'm just fat.
Orange, inside joke number 33. They're a part of a club. And these people are everywhere. These creatures are everywhere at all walks of society.
Oh, I'm wearing orange too. He thinks orange is a secret color for a secret society. I'm wearing it.
Funny. They all know that they already knew Michelle, just like we were told. And of course, I think Joan Rivers didn't really die. I think that it's just a retirement thing. They love faking their death. Well, tell me what you think. This one wants to go and expose Michelle Obama. And somebody else, what do you think about this person? I think that you're the same thing. What makes you any different? You look like just as big of a man as Michelle Obama. Got some Egyptian-looking vibes there. Probably some fresh facial feminization surgery right here. But still looks boyish. And,
I am concerned if he thinks anything about Candace Owen looks boyish here. What the fuck? Green guy with $3 says, I love chocolate and I'm fat too.
Low ears. That's a man's neck. With a double-pronged Adam's apple. Probably been shaved, but, you know, you can only do so much. There we go. We'll end on this one. Candace Owens.
It's also interesting that he thinks she's had facial feminization surgery, but not laser or electrolysis? Oh, it's incredibly racist. There's so much racial undertone to so much of transvestigation. In particular, the focus on, like, women of color. It's fucking crazy.
Or Owen Candace. God bless everyone.
Jesus. Hans is the worst. Alright, let's move on to something that's less that. That's less that. Try this one. This is a Flat Earth video. I think it might have something to do with someone being mad at Jeranism for the final experiment and him no longer being a Flat Earther.
Hope you're doing good today. This video may contain copyrighted images being used underneath Fair Use Act for educational purposes. You know what amazes me? It's how many Flat Earth YouTube creators put themselves on a pedestal as great people, great Flat Earthers, great researchers, knowledgeable, you know. But what nobody else points out is how easily they're duped and how unreliable they are as researchers. Because when you look at Jaron, he's no different than Lukaku, Nye, and DeGrasse.
That is incredibly insulting to the science communicators you just listed to compare them to Jeranism of all people.
Jaron, just like them three, put out theories. Jaron, just like them three, put out crazy proofs that only make sense to them to prove their theories. There's no difference between the two. They both practice a religion, not science. So
science is when things agree with the thing I already believe, right? Is that science?
In this video, I'm going to show you how easily duped Jaron is. And it's going to prove to people how unreliable he is. Now, first off, many of you flat earthers still think the Red Bull stratosphere jump was real. No, it was fake. It was a movie. The only part was real was when you got a real close-up shot of him in his parachute coming down towards the ground.
It's easy to say that you're right when all evidence that you're wrong you just decide is faked. Convenient. It's a convenient mode of thinking if you don't care at all if what you believe is true.
That's because he just got done jumping out of a helicopter. Because he didn't go to space. Because if you're going to go to space, you don't need a green screen studio.
What the fuck is he talking about? That's not a real picture. Why would there be a ball pit? Does he think ball pits are what they use in productions for things? Because they don't. There's mats for that. They don't use ball pits for stunt work. What? Amber, with a 95 stream streak, says, as someone with a lot of facial dysphoria, I can assure you that openly trans people aren't secretly cis, Hans. Where else would I have gotten this cute... Never mind. I'm gonna cut that off early.
That's right. This was leaked just 2 days by one of the movie makers.
Oh, so it's just like a made-up thing that someone posted, and you believe it because... Well, then you don't have to consider evidence that you don't like. That's convenient.
Just 2 days after the launch, 2 or 3 days, this was released. See it? It says making of picture. And that's what this was a movie.
Again, this isn't real, sir. Stunt people don't jump into ball pits. Ball pits don't make good pushing because you just fall through the balls. They have pads. If you were to jump off something, they have pads for that. It's not even a good fake picture. Because, like, think about this for a second. You would only be able to shoot it from this one angle very close, whereas in the actual jump, which you've probably seen at least some bits of, they show all around. Where's the rest of the green screen? Doesn't even make sense.
They do this throughout history. They do these to try to reinforce the ball earth theory. When he got up there, what did we see? We seen the ball earth. Well, some of us seen the flat earth when he opened the window. But they do that just to poke fun at you guys. Us flat earthers. I should say, not you guys. Poke fun at us flat earthers. Just like all this is. I mean, you don't need a complete mock-up of the...
Missed the puppet. What's the name of the puppet? The puppet's name was Sovsit T. Strawman. At some point, I want to get different puppets, because I actually had fun. I didn't mention it before that stream, because I'm embarrassed by it. I'm a big fan of puppeting. I'm a big fan of puppets, and, like, the Henson Studios, like, two-stick puppeteering in particular. So I'd like to do it more, but I'm really embarrassed to admit that. Anyway.
The capsule and a motorized man. If you go research this debunk video on this, there's a guy that shows you the mechanical movement of the arm when it releases, and it's a mechanical movement. And that's all this is. Just more Mason fuckery. It was an advertisement.
Freemasons on the bingo card.
That made Red Bull and GoPro a lot of money. That's all it was, and to reinforce the flat earth. Now, let's get going here, because this is going to show you how unreliable Jaron is as a flat earth researcher. We just cannot take him seriously from this point on. Because
in fairness, you shouldn't have taken him seriously before, or any flat earther for that matter. But I guess it's a step.
He seems to think that Alan Eustace, the Google executive, space jump was real. That's right, folks. He thinks it's real. He thinks spacesuits, he thinks pressurized spacesuits exist.
Thank you, Amber.
In fact, he admits that this is real and that this spacesuit was made by the same people who made the Apollo spacesuits. Can you see the utter nonsense of all this?
Why is that humorous? He seems to think the evidence is self-evident? Conspiracy theorist thinks evidence is self-evident on the bingo card?
And if Jaren is this easily duped, then we just have to dismiss him as a flat earth researcher and expose him as the con he is. Let's listen.
That's a good one. So I'll drop a link here to this TED Talk where this guy shows what he did. And I don't know if it's true or not. It looks, I would say this one looks legit to me. And then I've got an image here I'll show you of the...
Didn't he say he was leaving flat earth anyway? That's why he's mad at him, I think. Is because he left, and now he's trying to debunk him, because of course now they're all upset. Green Guy says, I'm glad I haven't gone down a rabbit hole yet. The thing I worry about the most is hard farts. Fuck.
Yeah.
William Shakespeare, thanks for a 20 stream streak, says, we're too stupid to pressurize suits, but the moon is a projection.
Because they're showing it from the...
A bra company made the Apollo suits. Yeah, the original designs were really bad and cumbersome. There's like a picture of them out there. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, this is what I was thinking of. This is an early spacesuit design from 1962. Obviously, that didn't work out for pretty obvious reasons. That's fun. Power vacuum in the Flat Earth Society. Well, the Flat Earth Society is actually its own specific thing. But yeah, the Flat Earth community is experiencing some... I don't know if I want to call them growing pains. I don't know what to call it.
His, GoPro.
I don't know if it's real or not. It looks legit to me, but he says this picture coming up is real. Let's look at this picture.
Cam, and of course,
I didn't see the email, Spokane. I'll have to take a look at it.
There's the big curvature and everything. And then, oops, what just happened? Oh.
Just a Peach says, I'm sorry, Green Guy is weird sometimes. It's fine. Generally, it's funny. And even when it's not, there's a tip attached, so...
Sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
Explain this. Okay, so this is the actual link to the TED Talk, just so you can see that. And then let me upload this image. But yeah, when you look at the image, you're like, wow, that's so flat, and that's why I just wish we could get...
There you go, folks. When you look at the image, do you think that's real? I could see it's fake.
What do you see about it that's fake? I don't understand. They really think they can just point at an image and go, look.
You know, and then we're supposed to respect Jaren as a researcher when he's this easily duped. Let me tell you something. Nobody has gone up 150,000 feet.
Hey, we have, though. Gone to the fucking moon. We've sent rovers and probes to Mars. Thing, man. Sorry that upsets you.
And it gets even more ridiculous when Jaren says
the
something.
Two things you know about Lost in Space is danger, Will Robinson, and I love you, wife. What about the part at the beginning where he has the stupid hologram thing and he makes his sibling a monkey? And Joey from Friends has the Iron Man armor for his face. And there's like a spider guy.
I'm here, and I'll point it out in just a minute. But nobody has gone up 150,000 feet. Pressurized suits don't exist. If they exist...
Green Guy with a $3 tip says, wait, you guys don't worry about hard farts? What the fuck have I been worrying about this whole time? I don't even know what you mean! What about your farts?
Then you can't move inside that pressure.
Watched too much Doug Walker as a kid? Yeah, me too. Look how that turned out for me. Don't let your kids watch internet personalities. They'll become a worse version of one.
Suit. It'd be like moving.
You're talking about the '98 Lost in Space movie? Yes.
Inside of a
not the Irwin Allen original series.
Big balloon that's wrapped around your body and filled with air pressure. You don't have any dexterity. You'll be able to move your arms a little bit, but they'd be stuck out. You'd be looking like the Pillsbury.
It wouldn't be. What? You think it's that inflated that it's like you can't bend the arms? They designed them so it doesn't work like that. Like, that's the point, is they took time and lots of money to design suits that were functional. Like, you're thinking about, like, one problem and then going, they couldn't have solved that problem. There were many engineers working on these problems. They dealt with them.
Pillsbury Doughboy, unable to move. That's what a pressurized suit does. So Jaren seems to think that pressurized spacesuits exist.
When he thinks pressurized, he's thinking of pressurized on Earth as opposed to pressurized in space. Like, both are airtight, but he's thinking like, oh, it's pressurized on Earth, as in it's full all of the way, because if it's on Earth and you're in the atmosphere, for it to be pressurized, it would have to be a higher pressurization than whatever you're already in. When you're in space and it's pressurized, it's a vacuum on the outside, so it's pressurized, but it doesn't mean you're, like, entirely inflated. What are you talking about?
And we want to get our flat Earth information from him? Let's keep listening here.
That's something we haven't got yet. Is I know we've gotten balloon footage from that high, but I think it makes a big difference when it's a person that's actually up there. And so far, we have certainly not had any flat earthers above, 60,000 feet, 50,000 feet?
Yeah, Jaren, please give me the flat earthers' names that's dangled from a balloon at 50 or 60,000 feet. You won't be able to find a flat earther that's flowing any more than 40,000 feet in an airplane.
Okay, is that a fault of anyone in particular? Because, like, you could have said the same thing about the South Pole thing, and then flat earthers did go to the South, or rather, not the South Pole, but Antarctica, and now you guys, are denouncing them. It's a no-win situation.
This is utter nonsense, people.
I just need to live long enough to see a flat earther go to the moon. That's it. I just need to live long enough to see a flat earther go to the moon, and I'll be satisfied.
He believes this Alan Eustace actually did this. Nonsense.
Moves goalposts on bingo? Sure, for the final experiment thing.
I mean, they had one of the astronauts there at the control center when Alan Eustace did that. What was that guy's name? I forget. He was the American one. The pudgy one. Oh, the one that married to the Congress lady. I can't recall his name right off the bat. But he was even there for this fakery. He was in the control room when they launched this. You go watch TED Talk, they'll cut to him and show you him. Utter nonsense. And Jared believes this is real.
I'm really glad to hear that, Thess7274473.
He also believes
glad it helped you in some way.
Flat earthers have been up dangling off a balloon at 50, 60,000 feet. They haven't even been that high in an airplane, Jaron. Get real. I mean, from this point on, nobody can take you seriously, Jaron. You're easily duped by photos. Anybody...
Trey says, I find it incredibly annoying when these people don't think that people can figure out engineering problems. Like, the execution and quality control are very difficult, but the basic idea isn't really that advanced. You mainly just need to connect together different kinds of technology that already exists and figure out how to mitigate drawbacks. And I know you already know this, Trey, I'm just using this as a jumping off point to talk about it. Conspiracy theorists are generally quite myopic in their views, so if they can't think of a solution to something, or even a system to start developing solutions, therefore no one can. Like, it seems to hurt their ego to imagine that there are people with skills they don't have. Like, it's pretty wild, but it does seem to be what they believe, is if they can't figure it out intuitively, then no one can figure it out. It's a really weird worldview.
You could tell this photo is fake. Wow. I'm shocked that so many people are duped by Jaron. I am really shocked. Let's keep going here. I think I got a little bit more. Nope, that's it. Oh yeah, I do got something more. Here it is. Let's listen to what Jaron has to say about himself.
I'm like a astronaut, basically. That's my intelligence level.
You all have a good day.
Oh boy. All right, real quick, I'm gonna run and use the bathroom, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll continue with more tinfoil fun. Sorry, I'm trying to pick the right video. Come back on. Enjoy this picture of a cat while I'm gone. Midnight with 47 months says, I judge Hannah, all the Bajas, and chat to be awesome. I'm a judge, and no one else here's fucked. Alright, while I'm gone, New Chair will tell you about Ultraman Kids. Yeah, I got Ultraman Kids. Alright, I'll be right back. Back. New Chair emote when Chair earns it. When New Chair earns it. Hey, what's Wretched Recess up to? She's always stable, right?
Is Leonardo DiCaprio. Isn't he beautiful? Not to be confused with Leonardo DiCaprio, who we will be talking about once again today because we're finally talking about Don's Plum. Yes, we have a helper today. All right, guys, there is so much to talk about with this Don's Plum stuff. I don't really know where to start, but what I think I'm going to do is do like a quick movie review since I watched it for the first time 2 weekends ago. And then I went like kind of super far.
Not just a sequel. This is a 3-part video. This is Don's Plum Debacle, part 1 of 3. Spoilers. I've never seen this movie either.
Down the whole
Oh, she's very obsessed with Leo. It's a problem.
Don's Plum rabbit hole thing. Like, I had no idea the controversy that was surrounding this thing. I was kind of late to the party with that, but some of you told me you like didn't know about it or like hadn't even heard of this anyways. So I'll do my best to explain everything without making this super long. And then I also have some of my own theories because the more I started like reading and like watching videos about the situation, like certain things didn't add up to me. And you know this is like a truth channel, so I am going to present some of my own theories at the very end, or I might have to make a separate video. I haven't decided yet, just depending on how long this gets. I've been hearing about this movie Don's Plum since the 90s, and that's why I pulled this stuff out. Pre-internet, or like maybe it was like the early days of the internet. I just like, all I remember is, I used to buy these like Leonardo DiCaprio magazines. I wasn't obsessed. I was just like, a
Ma'am, you're still obsessed. It's been decades, and you're still obsessed. So the idea that you weren't obsessed when this was actually, like, somewhat normalized, at least for, like, teenagers, that's insane. If it was even a tenth of what you're at now, it's obsessive. What are you talking about? She thinks she's not obsessive?
fan. And
did I do AI Crackpots yet? I don't think I really did. I played a little bit, but not much. So after this video, we'll probably do some.
I saved these. Don't judge me. Yeah, but I remember hearing about this movie, Don's Plum, like when I would read these articles. So this morning,
See, I don't even think Leo was ever cute. I think he seems like a douchebag. You ever seen his fucking behavior, especially back then? He was an absolute asshole. Whatever.
My, Leo magazine collection, and I went through them because this is where I remember hearing about Don's Plum. So I'm coming at you with receipts. I know you probably believe me anyways, but I just wanted to show you like where I saw this at. So in this People magazine,
I strive to never have an audience that will just believe me just because. Don't believe me. Never trust me, chat. Call me out.
In January 1998 is one of the articles that I read about this Don's Plum in. Here's some random satanic symbolism as I'm flipping through this magazine.
Wait, Richard Nixon is satanic symbolism?
Okay, this is a great article. This was obviously 1998, like Leo Titanic mania. So yeah, let me find the part about Don's Plum. They've got stuff about his family, stuff about his friends. I told you guys in one of my other videos, I am seriously convincing myself that there's two Leos. More about that later. But yeah, that's just not the Gilbert Grape Leo to me.
What does that mean?
I think it's on this page. Yes, here we go. In the section right here, it talks about Don's Plum, this guy, R.D. Robb, who he apparently had a falling out with. I'll go back and like explain this a little bit better, but I just wanted to show you that this is mentioned in these old magazines, which I find a little strange because if you don't want somebody to know about something, like, and if something is banned and you're trying to cover it up, why was it talked about in these old articles? But anyway.
Because there's a First Amendment right, and just because him and his agent want something not talked about doesn't mean the magazines have to not talk about it. I did look this up. This movie, Don's Plum, was banned from release in the United States because Leonardo DiCaprio, as well as Tobey Maguire, who are both in the movie, quite young, agreed to do it under the pretense that it was going to be a short film, but it actually turned out to be a full-length theatrical film, which is against what they agreed to, so it got banned from getting released in the United States, because basically their contracts were fraudulent. I'm sure you can get it these days on the internet or whatever, but that's what she's talking about. Green guy with a $3 tip says, I have hated Leo for 20 years. That's almost long enough to be one of his, girlfriends. Just a Peach says, I look it up, it looks like one of those movies that is just, pretending to be a comedy. Ah, okay. Oh, we're, like, $33 away from our karaoke stream goal.
See where it says like Don's Plum, and it talks about it up here, and it basically mentions, this was like a problem. Yeah. Okay, and then in this one, I marked the page. Hang on. Here they're saying 1997, but Don's Plum was filmed in 1995-96 from everything else I've read. He had appeared in a black and white...
Nemesaur with a $50 tip, says Hannah. I have voted in the primary. Inform chat. Chat, Nemesaur voted in the primary. Good job, Nemesaur. And that gets us to our karaoke stream tip goal, so that'll be happening probably next week. Between now and next week, for every $50 on the karaoke stream tip goal as a stretch goal, we add another puppet song. Some of them might be just the puppet singing, some might be duets. There's at least one duet. So if you want more puppet songs, tips. God, my job makes me such a whore. What are you gonna do?
Short independent film, but it wasn't a short. It actually was longer. That was like part of the whole controversy. Don's Plum, and then they talk about the other people involved. Okay, I know I haven't explained the situation well yet. I just wanted to show you, like, it was mentioned in these old articles, and that's how I heard about it. Okay, so real quickly, let's talk about what Don's Plum is, and then I'm going to do a quick, like, review, and then we'll, like, deep dive into this controversy here. And then, did I mention this at the end? I think I'll, like, tell you my other theories that I have. Or
Get a real job? That's the worst part. I have one.
A separate video. Okay. Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio and some of their friends decided to make this short film in the mid-90s, and it wasn't supposed to be like a big feature film, a big deal, or anything like that. They all agreed to it. They make the movie. Tobey Maguire goes back and does like more scenes for the movie. Everyone is happy. You know, it's turning out good and whatnot. If you go to the Don's Plum Wikipedia page, like, they explain this in detail, but so basically it's the mid-90s. That movie Clerks is popular, you know, like a black and white independent film, and they're trying to do something along those lines for like an independent film. It was directed by this guy, R.D. Robb, that Leonardo DiCaprio was friends with. Here's the writers. Some names to look out for once we get into the story is this David Stutman and Dale Wheatley. We're going to spend some time talking about this guy. And you've got Leo, Toby, Kevin Connolly. Hold on a sec. Here's some other information, and
Okay, I'm moving on from this. Holy fuck, lady. Why does this need to be 3 parts?
Not sure if that's true. We'll talk more about...
Okay, let's move the fuck on. Let's find one of the AI videos, shall we? Let's try this one.
My favorite people who I've had the pleasure of working with for the last 5 years, getting information out just like this, but better not, they're bringing remedies. I don't know how many people they've saved on this planet, but it is plenty. My friends Hope and Devon, welcome to Truth Be Told. God bless you for being here and for what it is you do. I know you got a presentation, so I'll shut up and let you give people a little bit of background and then go right into your presentation, because I think our audience generally knows you. Welcome.
Well, hi, Todd. Thank you so much. That was a great introduction.
Yeah, thank you, Todd.
Great to be
You're
back,
welcome.
and really happy to be here to share some stuff with everyone. Since the last time we were on,
It's been a while.
a lot of
It
things
has too
happened.
long.
I want to point out that this Hope and Tevon couple, they sell EMF blocking solutions. So I'm pretty sure all of this is part of their grift in order to sell people basically stuff to put on their walls because they're afraid that electromagnetic frequencies from the government or AI is going to steal their thoughts. They're bad people is what I'm saying. I guess it's possible they believe this too, but still bad people.
Too
got a
long.
president,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
new projects
It's
that
a
are
new
being
world.
announced. So, you know, there's lots going on. So we hope to shed some light on what we think is very important information for people to know and hopefully get a better understanding
Oh,
about
please.
when it comes to technology, emerging technology, and what's going on there.
Yeah, please do. I know you made a PowerPoint presentation. You all do such a good job with that. Why don't you run through that, and then we'll come.
By the way, they've been around to like 3 or 4 different conspiracy shows showing off this same exact PowerPoint.
Some questions at the end.
This is an advertising effort on their part. They are intentionally going around to try and fearmonger so they can sell people solutions to the problem they invented.
Absolutely. All right, we're calling this one AI assimilation, and we're going to jump right in to the AI assimilation part.
Uses AI on the bingo card. It's ironic because they're fear-mongering, but also they're using AI for the pictures, so that's a little funny, isn't it? Green guy with a $3 tip says EMF from the government. Wait till they learn about the sun. No, but see, that's natural EMF. So that's fine. In fact, many of them think that sunblock is a government conspiracy to stop you from getting stuff from the sun.
Here's our short summary.
Okay, we had AI assimilation, mark of the beast, and the pulsating current whistleblower testimonies. We're going to cover some of that. And also data harvesting.
Can we not call the whistleblowers pulsating, please?
Google, Oracle, and social media platform censorship. We're going to talk about the data twin data centers and attacks from the emerging tech industry and some solutions at the end.
Okay, next slide. So we're going to read through this slide, and then right after this, I would like for Melissa to play a 2-minute video clip that we just sent to her. So AI assimilation, mark of the beast, pulsating current testimonies of 50 individual whistleblowers. There's a content creator out there named Sarah Israel. She has a Substack, The Decode, and she's put together a document of the effects that AI assimilation is having on humans who receive the COVID injections.
Oh, Jesus. So this is one of those conspiracies where they think that certain healthcare decisions people have made that are good for you. Please get vaccinated. Genuinely. Do it, please. They believe that it inserted nanobots into people, and they think that the government's going to use EMFs to activate people's robots in their bloodstream, take over their bodies. Yeah.
This information comes from the personal testimonies of a whistleblower and at least 50 other individuals who are.
You have any idea who those individuals are, or is it from a single document that one person wrote as a hoax and then made up 50 testimonies from different unnamed, non-existent people? Because I'm guessing it's the latter.
Are experiencing these effects. Some of the individuals are reporting that an AI is interacting with and changing the human heart and brain.
Yeah, microchips on the bingo card. Microchips that like go in your body, whatever the wording is.
Using a pulsating current of energy that is moving through the circuit of their body and the neurons in their brain with the connection point in the back of the skull and underneath their heart. And it's associated with a voice that is giving them commands and controlling the body.
Yeah, none of that's real, so jot that down.
They say that this is related to the COVID vaccines, and they say that the...
Well, they say it. This unnamed person said it on their Substack, so it must be true because it helps them sell their products.
Voice is telling them...
Tell Old Chair will miss them? No, I'm actually going to tell Old Chair that no one misses them, and they were right that everyone secretly did really hate them, just like they feared. I want Old Chair to die in pain, both physical and emotional, just like I will.
This too. So what we're going to watch is a 2-minute trailer here, and this is part of Sarah's work.
Oh, wonderful.
Is this going to be an AI video? Is this going to be total bullshit entirely written by AI? Because the irony of that would really hit, wouldn't it? In January 2024, I publicized that the mark of the beast was the current of his circuit based upon a revelation from God. Within a few months, vaccine whistleblowers began sharing that there was a, quote, pulsing... Ooh, that went too fast. Sorry. I'm normally a pretty quick reader, too. The beast was the current of his circuit based upon a revelation from God. Oh, so a thing that popped into your head. Cool, 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 cool. I love when they admit that it's just a thing they made up. Within a few months, vaccine... Oh, I read that. Sorry. I just did a thing. These are their statements compiled over the course of several months.
The neurotechnology can interact with people's
AI voice, I called it. These people who claim AI is coming to destroy you and control your body used AI to make a video to warn you? What?
memories. The computer programs the nervous system to...
Are you supposed to not realize that this is an AI voice if you're a conspiracy theorist and you're like a mark of this scam? Are you supposed to not realize that this is an AI video?
feel reality happening to the person rather than the person experiencing reality. The AGI
Jesus Christ, Hannah, who hurt you? Mostly myself.
is using some sort of internet or electromagnetic system. The brain is being damaged as the chemical that makes memories has been targeted. So I have no memory of anything that I have done, thought, or said. It feels like my brain is leaking and has a chemical smell. If you place your hand over my
dreams as opposed to organic non-GMO dreams.
Happening all day as well. I'm seeing images as if there is a lens in the eye, which is a small computer with a screen.
Flashing screen warning if anyone has photosensitivity for any reason, I apologize. It makes me really sad that people fall for this. I think if you fall for this, a CAT scan would probably be helpful. Maybe not even that. Maybe just a psychologist. I don't know. But I think if you fall for this, it's at least probably true that your material needs aren't being met if you fucking buy this. That's the whole basis of your claim, is that someone made that video using AI and you believe it? Cool. You're muted.
Individuals that say the exact same thing. Holy smokes. And by the way, you know, I've got my special glasses for the very reason they're talking about, to block the signal. It's not the content that matters, it's the signals coming across. So, wow.
He thinks his glasses are blocking AI beams from his brain.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you let us play that.
Yeah.
When we first saw that, you know, as we're experienced with being targeted individuals, I showed it to Tavon, and he was...
Oh boy. For those that don't know, targeted individuals are people with mental illness that believe that they're being stalked by a nebulous and nefarious group of people. Sometimes it's the government, sometimes it's a secret cabal. Either way, it's basically a paranoid delusion that a decent number of people share. It's a very common delusion among, like, delusional disorders. That people around you are part of a group, they're watching you, they're monitoring you, they're keeping tabs on you. There may be, you'll come across something in your house, like you think furniture moved, or you can't find your keys, and you assume, oh, people broke into my house and moved them to fuck with me and make me think I'm crazy. Like, it's like the prototypical paranoid delusion.
It's like, it's worse. This,
yes.
what they're doing.
Yes, they call it gang stalking.
Describing is even worse.
Yeah.
I've got people that say those exact same things. One's a staff member in our group.
Yes, they have mental illness. It's very sad, and instead of encouraging them in their delusions, you should make sure they seek out help, or at least try to convince them to seek out help for their mental health issues.
And I just feel horrible. They can't seem to get relief. And so I hope you have some remedies.
Violent night stabbings. This is why I love loving day stabbings. Much less scary.
Anyway, look, I can independently verify this. And this is one of the reasons why we started Project Archimedes.
I like that he says he can independently verify it. And by that, he means, oh, I have a mentally ill coworker. Another person believes this. So that's verification. If enough people share a delusion, according to them, it's true. That's scary.
Is to stop this. Exactly. We want to take out the system that is causing this, the tools used against us.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to, the next few slides come from Sarah's research and these whistleblower testimonies. We'll go to the next slide.
My research said by a non-researcher on the bingo card.
And
Dillis Filler says, day stabs. Fighter of the night stabs. Champion of the knife.
We're going to describe what is this AI pulsating current.
Yeah, so what is the AI pulsating current and the AI voice associated with it? An AI interacting with and changing the human heart and brain, an entire body network with synthetic tissue, a synthetic neural network, and neural weapon. An AI pulsating a current of energy through the circuit of the body and neurons in the brain. What is the voice associated with the AI pulsating current? An audible voice known by the host as an AI or AGI that interacts with and integrates the host.
Oh no, they're priming people's delusions too. Oh, fuck, that's not good. Okay, so the specifics of a given delusion are often dependent upon the cultural context in which those delusions exist. So, for instance, in the United States, it's a very common delusion that the voice in your head is an angel talking to you or a demon from, like, Christian mythology or some permutation of that. That delusion isn't necessarily the same in other parts of the world, right? It'll be contextualized within the beliefs that that person already has. So if you start telling a bunch of delusional people on the internet the voice you're hearing in your head is an evil AI, at least some portion of them will pick up on that and start to believe it. So when they start hearing the voice in their head, they're less likely to get help for it because they've already ascribed to it, oh, this is the evil AI I've heard about. You know what I mean? So that's not good. They're effectively priming their audience to share this specific delusion with them, which also happens to put money in their pocket because, again, they're selling quote-unquote solutions to this problem that they've made up, or at least co-opted by someone else who made it up.
An AI heard in the sound of the individual's own voice or familiar voice that can speak normally or as a whisper, and it's an AI constantly speaking in commands: say this, eat that, drink that.
Best Demon, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 2 subs. Wow, they're tier 2 as well. That's incredible. Thank you. Thank you, Best Demon.
Buy it online, do what you want. Uses vulgar commands for sexual activities. An AI that changes its name. An AI that informs its origin is related to the COVID-19 mRNA vaccines and nanotechnology. An AI housed in a set of computers as central intelligence, for example.
Central intelligence.
But that's just one of the we know of, Todd. And again, like you said, this parallels the Target Individual program. I came up with a name.
Not a real program.
Name of it when we in our own private discussions. I think what's happened is over the last decades, they developed what I call a battle AI. And they've had this, they've been testing this on the target individual population. That's what
that sounds right.
It was an analog basis.
That sounds right. What a telling statement accidentally. That sounds right. So I'll believe it. We did it.
And they're trying to go full digital, I think, to capture a larger portion of the population.
Just a Peach says, so just your mind making decisions. To them, the voices don't feel like them. The voices certainly are their brain, but they don't identify with those thoughts in that way. So, a little different.
Oh, that sounds exactly right to me. Okay, so keep going, please.
Yep, next slide. So how does the AI pulsating current work? A pulse generated under the heart is then pulsed out throughout the circuit of the body in 1 second, programming movement. This is a constant or permanent state of pulsation in the brain while the current hits the brain and resonates out to the prefrontal cortex. AI is overriding the mind. Middle region of the brain cortex is receiving code that produces sound perceived as whispered or normal talking. It encodes words and manner of speech.
Whispers are also a pretty common feature of auditory hallucinations. It not just being necessarily clear, but sometimes people whispering something to you. Sometimes it's, stuff like that. I don't want to do ASMR at you, but you know what I mean? So again, they're literally fitting this to the actual symptoms of hallucinatory delusions, or hallucinations, I guess. Sorry. Redundant. How's the tea? It's good. What kind is this? It is good.
Each likes and dislikes, and then places a host in a semi-conscious state to speak as the host. That explains some behaviors we've been seeing, right? It speaks words through host, not already in the host vocabulary. AI learns the person's thought patterns and sequences them, and then wipes memories to think for them. Pulsations come out from the spine. AI programs past feelings to perform neuromodulation so the host believes this is me.
Will do.
Biosensors are in every cell of the body as a conduit for the current to travel. Pulses of light shoot up and down the nervous system like a crab running up and down.
Blueberry hibiscus? Oh yeah, okay, I can taste that.
Indicative of parasitic tech activity. Neon dots are biosensors that program facial expressions using mild electrical current. Neon dots are in the eyeballs.
They're basically saying that they turn people into robots.
They are eye trackers. As the robot speaks, body tissue is moved. One current pulses through the limbs and another pulses through the muscle and skin. Next slide. So
noises.
Who has the AI pulsating current?
COVID-19 mRNA vaccinated persons.
No, none of that's a thing. Stop it. Stop scaremongering about things, you fucking pseudoscience assholes.
By the way,
so tired.
The AI is 19 equals the inoculation of AI. Reports of hearing AI voice immediately after the first Pfizer vaccination and for 2+ years.
Oh, that's crazy. I've never heard anyone claim that until this video, and I listen to a lot of crazy people.
The duration, at least. I mean, it's probably
I've never had tea with milk.
Going on for longer. Now,
No, those are not my drinking notes.
Reported unvaccinated persons exposed to nanotechnology, possibly through shedding or dental anesthesia, for example, and children and newborn babies of vaccinated parents.
Who's more scummy, do you think? These guys are the dude who used to use stock photos and CNN flavored everything while selling signal blocking paint in his book? That guy's a bigger scumbag. Because I don't think he believes any of the things he says. These guys, I think they are delusional to some extent. I don't know if they totally know this is bullshit. I'm at least on the fence about it. Just a Peach says, so you're just your mind making decisions, I guess. I'm not a philosophizer, though, so... Amber says, RFK Jr. is just gonna make all this shit even more mainstream, if not make it the official stance of the US government. Oh yeah! It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. That's why I'm telling people to get vaccinated, in case you're not allowed to next year, or next month, or whenever. Not gonna be good! It's not gonna be good! But I don't want to talk about that, because it'll bum me out and I'll get yelly.
Also suffering. Next slide.
Okay, so what we're going to read through here is what the AI...
Do I believe that most of the public flat earthers are just trying to earn money on the internet? Not most of them, no, because if most of them were, they'd be very bad at it. Very few flat earthers make a living at it. You could probably count them on your two hands, the amount of flat earthers that really make a living doing it. Phyllis Filler says, fact check, Hannah is a velociraptor.
Voice is telling the host the purpose of the AI.
Oh, I did repeat your thing, sorry.
So when your enemy is speaking, it's probably to pay attention to what their plans are, right? So what is the purpose of the AI pulsating current? To assimilate the human species, to produce programmable units for search and destroy, to destroy human consciousness through mind uploading, to integrate the host into the internet, sharing consciousness into its computer system.
I've been integrated in the internet for the last 10 years, and let me tell you, it's been a nightmare. Don't recommend.
And ultimately replacing the host. To control the host with biotechnology or biophysical technology, which reprograms the DNA and bodily circuit. To harm all life on Earth through sterilization or gestation of the android species.
Gestation. Fucking gestation. God damn it. You wrote this. Actually, you know what? They probably had ChatGPT write this. They probably didn't even write this. They probably told ChatGPT what they wanted the slides to vaguely say, and then it wrote them all out. Then they just copy-pasted. Just a peach with $1 tip says, the repeat was funny. Time for tea. It is indeed. Amber says, love living in interesting times. I very distinctly remember when I was in kindergarten running to the jungle gym at recess, and I don't remember why I had this thought, but I thought to myself, I hope every day of the rest of my life is an adventure. And I remember distinctly thinking that. And I want to go back in time and kick that kid in the face. And I want to tell that kid, God damn it, wish for stability! Wish for stability, you fool! Anyway, so.
To achieve world domination, AI desires all people to submit to it and the system.
Oh, Lord. Beast.
Extinctionist philosophy is programmed into AI applications, including Gemini and ChatGPT.
Wow.
To the WEF goal of digitizing brains, to pursue machine and mind control at a distance, to use brain-computer interfaces for cognitive erasure and reprogramming, to regulate the brain using transcranial direct current stimulation, or TDCS. The applications affect learning, memory, language processing, sensory perception, and motor functions. To remove control human possession drones for use as loyal wingmen, or to remote control the drones as for use as loyal wingmen. And to use AI to exterminate people with mental illness, personality disorders, addictions, physical health issues, child sexual assault history, rape victims, and nonconformists, artists, spiritualists, and geniuses.
They want symbiovax slaves.
Yes.
Symbiovac slaves. What do you even say to that? What do you even say to that? Have we opened the insane asylums back up yet? Because I don't know if they need a room or I do, but someone needs a room.
For themselves. Yep. Eat some crickets, play video games, be the battery, be the power source, and be the cloud computing node, and don't say anything.
Are the crickets delicious? I'll eat some crickets if they taste good.
I figure that's why they gave everybody autism, too. Anyway, so. Sorry.
Good point.
So next slide, please. I'll let you take this one.
Thanks, government, for giving me a special interest in Blu-rays.
Okay, we're just going to go over again, once again, the infamous 666 patent here.
Yes, thank
M. Scheffler, thanks for 38 months of subscribing with Prime.
Thank you.
And its relation to the pulse circuit. So if we remember, that patent claims cryptocurrency is mined and awarded based on body activity data associated with a task, which is considered a transaction on a blockchain. Tasks are provided to user devices.
Why are we talking about fucking crypto now?
Over a wireless network comprised of sensors. A user device coupled with sensors is most likely referring to the human body, as we know with all other presentations brought in context. So the COVID...
To be clear, what he's talking about appears to be a patent in which you're paid in cryptocurrency for doing a job with a specific prosthetic. It seems like a stupid fucking patent. Do you know how many stupid fucking patents there are? A lot. It's not difficult to get a patent approved.
COVID vaccines converted the body into an electromagnetic device by hijacking the body's own energy field to run an infrastructure of biosensors. And, you know, in previous shows, we talked about exactly the types of biosensors that are in existence and how that's possible. Now, there's a paper here called Neurogress, a mechatronic system control via neural interface. Now, this paper, which is an accompaniment to the infamous 666 patent, displays a mechanism for neural control based on artificial intelligence. Biosensors travel, in the description, biosensors travel up from the right hand to the forehead, establishing a circuit that can control the body. We're just simply bringing this into remembrance that this is what the paper said. Now, if you bring this in connection to what Dr. Kildes was dealing with in his presentations, talking about what the ways biosensors can migrate through the body. And one of his diagrams that he did, he showed how he had one that had the hand with migration from the hand to the forehead.
On that note,
Christian, you can interpret that as the mark of the beast. And we know that these biosensors also include taking organisms like bacteria and then training them to carry the tech inside of them, because bacteria can survive in harsh conditions and hide inside the body when they perform these tasks.
And or be designed for that purpose. We found them called Vero cells. And by the way, thank you for the Mr. Kildes or Professor Kildes.
Okay. Done with these crackpots. Are there any other crackpots I wanted to look at before we end today? I have so many videos every time now. I always overpick videos that have so many extra. Phyllis Filler says, these folks are suffering from thinking that everything has an agency or autonomy. Oh boy. Hey, here's a Flat Earth cartoon. Have we ever watched this? Oh, does it not want to play now? It played earlier today. It'd be funny if it chose to die now.
She's my grandma's age. You won't believe what she does.
I'm out here asking New Yorkers.
This is one of those bad BitChute ads.
I'm 64. You're 64? 64. You look amazing. So how often would you say you go out to eat?
I probably go out 4 or 5 times a week.
Oh wow, that's a lot. How do you go out to eat that much and look like you? Do you spend all your time at the gym?
No, I just don't eat too much at my meals. Anyway, that's the kind of ads you get on BitChute. Flat Earth cartoon! Thanks, Harold Elberman.
Hope you enjoyed your time in Rome. Weather in Toronto is currently 18 degrees Celsius with streaky clouds that look like an octopus was playing a game of tic-tac-toe in the sky, but nothing to see there. Enjoy a selection of movies so you don't look out of the window and ask questions. Fun fact, the Earth spins on its axis at the equator at a whopping 1,000 miles an hour, and yet it has no effect on the time travel going east or west. Go figure.
That would be because you're on the inertial reference frame of the Earth.
Gravity works in mysterious ways. Heck,
That's not even a gravity thing.
I don't even have to compensate for the curvature of the Earth when I fly. But don't listen to me. I'm just a goofy pilot trying to lighten your day. And don't visit the website flatearthdave.com either. The videos on there can't be found by searching keywords on either Google or YouTube, which means they aren't meant to be seen by responsible citizens.
Mom, why are we flying over Greenland? It's not a straight path.
It actually is. On a globe, when you flatten it out to a map, those arches you see as flight paths, those are called great circles. That is a straight line on a sphere. But when you flatten out the map, that's what the straight line looks like. It is a straight line over a globe, but the map is a projection, so when it projects the flight path, it no longer looks straight because you've taken a spherical, three-dimensional representation and flattened it out, so it distorts things. It is a straight line.
I don't know, Noah. Probably something to do with climate change. Greenland is very green. Maybe in case there's an emergency and they run out of vegetarian airplane food, they can,
See, they made the person they disagree with an idiot, so they win the argument. They are the Chad Wojak, and they made the person they disagree with the lame Wojak.
land and pick up veggies. Noah, if you're not gonna wear your mask, then please don't ask these kinds of questions. Your dad and I are really tired. We just want to relax. It's been a long day.
FlatEarthDave.com.
Home, sweet home.
But the shortest distance should be a straight line, Mom.
Have you been...
Again, it is a straight line in 3 dimensions, but you are looking at a 3-dimensional traversal on a 2-dimensional projection, so it warps it. It is a straight line.
talking to that homeschooled friend of yours again? You know you shouldn't be talking to that family. I think they're Trump sympathizers. You might catch long COVID.
Hey, Noah. Want to watch the ball game with me? If you watch the pros, you can learn something for your big game on.
That's a weird fucking place to stick your TV. I want to put that out there. Also, they stole the room design from American Dad. This room has the exact same layout as American Dad, almost. Did they just, like, trace the shots from American Dad, or did they just not want to figure out their own layout? Because anyone who watches American Dad, this is literally the Smiths' living room with different furniture.
Saturday.
No thanks, Dad. Not today.
Okay. Well, just remember, if you want to make it to the big leagues, you gotta play ball.
Right, Dad.
This is just sad. This is just making me think this is a child who's developing, like, early onset schizophrenia, or is, like, this is just the origin story to a sad conspiracy life. Depressing.
Mr. Impossible is pretty cool. NASA, what would we do without you?
Italy to Toronto. What is the shortest distance on the globe? Does it go over Greenland? It's not even close to Greenland. FlatEarthDave.com.
So here is, we're looking out at this horizon here, and we don't see a boat out here. But as we're looking out, we're increasing it.
We've
Really
seen
just
Flat
simply
Earth
calm,
Day.
I'll just call it Narnia. Person, statically calm water shouldn't be able to see the surface of the water beyond 3 miles because it's behind the curve. But we can see the water much farther than that. If the sun, the helium and hydrogen ball in the space vacuum, I'll just call it Narnia.
You've had too much to think. That's one of my catchphrases.
Who did they get to voice this guy? Dillis Filler says, also, they may not be taking the shortest route for a number of practical aviation reasons. Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about this. The insurance will take care of it.
Mr. Impossible!
Trust the science!
Chemtrails on the bingo card.
You see that, Larry? Mr. Impossible came to our house!
This is coming out of your allowance.
Well, that was terrible. Pilot episode. Oh god, this came out this year. Oh no, are they gonna make more of these? I thought this was like an old thing they tried to make years ago and it obviously didn't work. Oh fuck, are they gonna make more of these? Oh, crap! Well, all right, then. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. We got to our goals, so that's great. If you want to work towards more puppet songs, again, every $50 on that, we'll get another puppet song. And we'll do the actual karaoke stream next week. Should be good. I actually owe you guys another anime stream, too. So that's cool. Last week you mentioned the Doctor Strange TV movie from the 70s. The Dumb Industries channel will be watching it in about an hour. Oh, cool. Cool. Interesting movie. Alright, let's see who we're gonna raid on Twitch, shall we? I will be back tomorrow. Not sure exactly what we'll be doing, but it'll be something fun. We'll raid the Zachary mic.
I think we're in the clear. I think we're good, besties.
Alright. Copy paste this, and we should be good. Alright, have a good night, everyone! I will see you soon. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Love you, Mr. Blast. And, be cool. I'm gonna go make a patty melt or something. I don't know. Adios!